get to go to the cinema as often as I liked. When lockdown happened, I was like, oh my God, I didn't actually go to the cinema that much. I should probably get on that.
Yeah, same. I mean, I have to say that in Liverpool it was much easier because there were student discounts and all that kind of stuff. Um, but in Czech Republic, there's the thing that we have to find the the screening where it's either in English or subtitled in English.
All
Uh,
right.
in Italy, it's even more difficult because here they dub everything. So,
Oh.
so if I want to see something in the original language, there's maybe one, two screenings of that. So it's really like a selected time at a selected day. So
Oh, that sounds really frustrating.
yeah, it is. It is. But,
I had no I didn't realize it was like that difficult to get it in the original language in other regions. That's crazy.
well, I mean, I think it depends on the country because here in Italy we have the the the, the habit of dubbing everything, like from animation to documentaries. Everything is dubbed.
Yeah.
Um, so even like big films, let's say Star Wars or the Marvel films,
Yeah.
uh, there'll be like one or two screenings in the original language with the subtitles, and all the others will be dubbed. So,
Oh wow.
but in Czech Republic, they don't dub everything. They tend to dub animation and then some major films. Um, so let's say indie films or not so blockbustery films, they tend to be screened in the original language with the Czech subtitles, which is good because I mean, for me, it's good because I can go see them as well.
Yeah.
We are live,
Oh,
by the way. Hello, everyone.
Ooh.
hello,
Hello.
hello.
We have a wonderful returning guest, Ilaria. How do you do?
Hello, hello. I'm good. How are you guys?
And we
We are
have
good.
our lovely co-host, Amy Moore. How do you do, Pandicoot?
I do good. Very good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Right, so today we're going to be talking about a little thing called musicals. Yay!
What's that? I have never heard of one of them before.
So it's this wonderful thing. That's all I got. Anyway,
It's just a wonderful thing. There you go.
it is a wonderful thing.
It's true.
So yeah, as is tradition, what have you guys watched over the past week or so?
Excuse me, I just nearly died.
I mean, that's unadvisable, but you know, you
No,
do you, I guess.
don't die, it's bad for your health.
People die when they are killed.
Yeah, strange that, isn't it? I have watched season 3 of Cobra Kai, which is very good. I also watched the new season of RuPaul's Drag Race, which is also very good, very cool. And that's about it for this week.
Oh yeah, season 3 of Cobra Kai came out, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's gonna be next on the docket after I finish
Ooh,
the 2 series I'm doing now. Assistant
cool.
David, hello, good sir.
Assistant David, hello.
They're dubbed
How are you
once they
doing?
go on TV. Ah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the
We're
same in
talking
Sri Lanka
about Czech
actually,
films.
because that's usually when they get dubbed as well. Interesting.
I learned a thing today.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I
And
know.
Ilaria, what have you watched?
So I have I've started the Queen's Gambit and it's pretty good. I'm really liking it. Then I have finished Euphoria, which is also really good. Totally
Ooh.
recommend it.
Oh, I've been meaning to watch that actually.
I've heard the
It's a
cinematography is immaculate in Euphoria, that's what I've heard.
yeah, it's
Ooh.
amazing. Like it's beautiful, just beautiful cinematography, and it is a like a roller coaster of a TV show because there are some pretty hard, emotionally hard episodes, but I think like the acting, the cinematography, the editing, it's amazing. It's just very, very good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, then I've watched the season premiere of the new season of Dickinson, which I have to say it's pretty good, but I don't think it's as good as season 1.
Okay. I've not watched it at all, so.
I
don't
watched
know much.
season 1. I think is pretty good and bold because I'd never seen anything like it, anything that took literature like that. But season 2, I don't know. Maybe it's just the first episodes are a bit. It's just starting to get into the season. So maybe it's that. Maybe we'll get better. But I still think first season is like a masterpiece, especially like the first episodes.
Oh my.
And yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah.
Sweet. I've pretty much been grinding away at Alice in Borderland and Sweet Home. And to start off with, I was more Alice in Borderland is the better show, but the more I've seen of Sweet Home, it is so visually interesting that I'm just kind of mesmerized by it. Like, it's almost as if Suspiria aged Dario Argento decided to make a monster movie. And that's the entire series. It's so colorful and high contrast, vibrant, and beautifully shot. And there's just monsters killing people graphically, and I'm like, this is so cool.
Sounds interesting.
Beyond that, that's about it, I think. I think I watched Wonder Woman 84 with the parents one more time, but that's about it.
Oh,
that's
What's that?
that's what I want to ask, Ilaria.
Yeah.
Did you watch WoW 84, and what did you think about it, if you have?
I haven't watched it yet.
no, me neither.
Assistant David has.
Oh my.
Because Assistant David is lucky enough to. I think it's on HBO Go in Czech Republic. Maybe, I'm not sure. Please comment Assistant David if it is correct what I'm saying. But anyway, he's seen it. I have not. But I'm looking forward to it. I know there has been some backlash about some representation, but I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know about the representation backlash. I heard some backlash about there's consent issues or something.
Yeah, I mean, the representation thing, it's a very minor point, if anything. The film has many more issues than just that. But yeah, it's some people have brought up the fact that Pedro Pascal's son is played by an Asian kid, and they're like, oh, that's interesting. How did the Mexican guy bring out an Asian kid? We want to know how this works. That's about it. It's not a big deal, but the consent issue is a big one, and the overall quality of the film, really. Like, I am shocked that the woman who did Monster also did this film. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
But
It's disappointing.
It's a fun ride, though. Like, I was laughing and I was frustrated the entire time. It's like watching a modern day Batman and Robin.
Oh no.
But yeah, fun.
Is it worse than Mulan?
That's Jesus Christ. That's a question. Objectively speaking, I'm probably gonna say Mulan is slightly better, but
my god, really? Oh dear.
Wonder Woman is a lot more fun.
Oh, fair enough.
Because there are some things that are just like, what is going on? And some ridiculous things, and I'm like, you know what, this is just way too funny.
Fair. With Mulan, it's just kind of boring.
Yeah, it's pretty lifeless, but like, that's it's weird. Like, Mulan is technically better, but I have a better time with WoW 84.
Fair enough.
Eventually, when more people that we know have seen it, we are having a WoW 84 stream. Believe
We
you
are.
me.
Yeah. Just need to watch it first.
Yeah, I think it's out on streaming in the UK on a couple of days' time, so hey, we'll see what happens.
Cool. I'll watch it when I get a chance to, basically. I need to watch the first Wonder Woman as well, so I'll just sit down and watch both of them in one sitting.
Okay. I have to rewatch the original Wonder Woman because I haven't seen it in like 2-3 years, so yeah, want to see how I see it now.
Yeah. I kind of stopped watching DC for a while after Batman v Superman because I was just so angry. I was just like, I am so mad at DC right now.
Do you know what? I don't think anyone will blame me for that. I'm one of those people, I love Batman v Superman, but at the same time, I'll also be in the front lines just saying this film is kind of crap.
Yeah. Like, I don't mind people who do like it, but for me personally, when I watched it, I was like, I'm angry and I want my money back because that was awful.
Yeah. Like a lot of people say, oh, the Ultimate Cut is better, and it's like, technically it is, but
it should be good.
It's still kind of bad. So
yeah, I hate the whole the original super cut. It's like, okay, but it should be good without that as well. So yeah,
it's weird. Yeah, Batman v Superman is a fascinating story, but I think the first thing I said to a friend of mine when we came out of the cinema was like, see, that film had all the right ingredients. Like, imagine you're making a pancake, you got the ingredients, you just put it in the wrong order and left it to fry a little too long or something like that. It's weird. The ingredients are there, it's just not executed right.
Yeah, or it's kind of like if somebody took sugar and replaced it with salt somewhere along the way.
Not even that. It's like you put the sugar after everything's been done, but the surface is sugary, but the entire pancake is just kind of bland, and it's like, what's going on here? Like, that's more of the issue, but I mean, one day we'll get to talk about Batman v Superman.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
I forgot what we were talking about.
We were talking about Wonder Woman to start with.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's a fascinating film. Can't wait for you two to see it. See what you think.
I will watch it, and once I watch it, I will message you and say, I think this, and this.
Wonderful. I can't wait.
I remember I did that when we were watching The Boys, and I was messaging people like, I really like this character, and then later I was like, oh, this character's a Nazi. Never mind.
Yeah, that was such a disappointment. Like, no.
I was like, oh my god, I liked the character, and then it turned out to be a Nazi.
You know what's the worst part about that? Like, that's the one character who gave a damn about good writing, so I kind of felt like, oh, do you think people who care about good writing are Nazis? Like, thanks, dude. So every time I talk about writing in a video essay now, I put her face. And it's like, well, I'm embracing it, so there you go. I
think The Boys is one of the best superheroes TV shows out there.
I have a lot of issues with The Boys.
I enjoyed it. Like, I watched it and I enjoyed it. Like, I had some parts where I was just like, what is going on and why did that need to be there? Like, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
Season 1 is stronger. Season 2, I fell right off a cliff as far as I'm concerned. I think we did talk about it for about an hour or so during one of the streams, the Halloween one. I was not impressed by season 6 whatsoever. Many issues. But that being said, if they do season 3, I will still watch it because I still like Homelander. Homefront, different thing altogether. But Homelander is still kind of fascinating, so watch it for him. That's about it.
I've enjoyed it. I think it's exciting. I think it's, I don't know, it's just, I always like something that's not the usual typical superhero saves the day type of thing.
I love how basically they equate superheroes with celebrities in this world. It's quite cool.
Yeah, like, as far as the premise goes, it has a very good premise, and Like, I was willing to overlook a lot of the issues in season 1 because of the premise, but they don't really do much with it. And that I have a big issue with that, especially in season 2. It's like everything is just the most surface level interpretation you could possibly have with this idea, and it's just very disappointing.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, go.
I was just gonna say, anyway, we did talk about this at length in like a 3-hour stream, so we're trying not to talk about it too long.
Oh, like it's pretty much how it goes. Like, someone says, "Oh, I like it." Chances are, I'm just gonna go, "Yeah, but
I don't like it."
Yeah, because like Mandalorian, I thought was hot garbage by the end of it. The boys hated it. Pretty much the only thing I've liked out and out in these streams is the Haunting series and Mulan '98. I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like Mulan '98 for a second. I was like, wait, which Mulan? And then I was like, oh, the original.
There's a Mulan set in 2098.
2098. There probably will be. 100-year anniversary.
Yeah.
But,
anyway.
Yeah. Oh, Ilaria, what did you think of Mando season 2? Because I know you watched it.
Mandalorian. Yeah, I love the Mandalorian, and Assistant David gave me like for my birthday. He gave me 2 little baby Yoda figures. So I just love that show. It's engaging. It's exciting to me, and it's like having good quality half an hour, 40 minutes TV show about the Star Wars universe. I just really like it.
I like the theme tune.
Well, I'm gonna have the controversial opinion here. I think the writing's absolute garbage in that show.
I disagree.
Ooh, interesting. Like all the way from episode 1 of season 1, I have so many issues. It's just ridiculous how many issues I have with that show. Like, production-wise, it's a well-produced show, and the performances, for the most part, are great. The writing, I think, is hot garbage. And we can discuss this at length. I didn't have a chance to vent it yet, so hey.
Maybe we could do that when we have a week where we don't have anything we're talking about, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have anything booked for 2 weeks' time, so hey.
Put Mandalorian in there then?
Yeah, I can prove why Mando sucks and why it's okay to like it.
Curious.
Star Wars was never about the writing, my man. Oh, fuck off, David. Never been about the writing. Oh, okay, we're having this 2 weeks from now.
Oh no, okay.
We're having this.
That we're never gonna get to musicals otherwise.
David is very fond of the Mandalorian. He doesn't just like it; he's very fond of it. So
that's fine.
Be aware of that.
Look, I'm fond of the Mandalorian too. I just think the writing is garbage tier. But yes, 2 weeks from now, Assistant David, Ilaria, you're welcome to join us. Well, we are having this conversation. Right. Oh, never. Oh, okay. That made me angry. I need a Pepsi.
Oh no. What have you done? Assistant David, why? Anyway, musicals.
Right. Musicals.
Wonderful.
Yay.
And here's why.
Right, so when you think of a musical, what's the first musical that comes to your mind?
Les Miserables.
Ooh, which version?
The Tom Hooper version of the film.
I've never seen that version, so
I've watched some of it. For me, it's always Rocky Horror, because that's the kind of like the thing I associate with musicals, because my mom introduced me to it, and I think that was the first musical I ever saw.
Ooh, interesting.
Yes.
For me, Les Mis was the first musical that introduced me to loving musicals.
Ah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Sorry.
Oh, no, go on.
I was gonna say Rocky Horror for me wasn't so much like introduced me into musicals. It introduced me into just like bizarre types of films, like cult films.
Yeah, I can definitely see
Pretty much.
that. I mean, if you're gonna be seeing Tim Curry in bondage gear, that'll definitely introduce you to some weird things.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's why I'm just like I can watch weird films and just be like, okay. And like people with me are just like, what is going on right now? And I'm just like, oh, it's just a weird film. Just go with it.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, it's weird for me. Like when I think of musicals, like prior to like 4 or 5 years ago, it would have been like stuff like Sound of Music, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, and stuff like that. Maybe the Disney films. But
Oh
then
yeah.
after I watched The Greatest Showman, I was like, do you know what? This is a really cool musical. And then ever since then, when I think musical, I always go to The Greatest Showman.
Fair.
And
musical.
yeah, and also like the fact that the Oscars didn't use The Greatest Show as the opening to their show. What a missed opportunity. But yeah. So Les Mis was what introduced you to loving musicals. So what's the earliest musical you remember watching?
I think it was. So if we don't count Disney films, then I think it's Grease.
Oh
I
yeah.
remember Grease. Yeah. I think the earliest like actual musical I saw, because I'm not really counting Rocky Horror, because that was more like my mum would have it on. Like I didn't actively choose to watch it. The one I actively chose to watch, I think, would probably be Moulin Rouge.
Oh, I think we all know my thoughts on Moulin
I
Rouge.
know you did, but I saw it on TV and I was just like, what is this? It's amazing. And then from that point on, I was like, I think I really like musical movies now.
See, with me, I asked the question, what is this? And the buck kind of stopped there, and I just kept asking that question the entire way through. It's like, what is this? Please tell me.
I just like it for the songs mostly.
I mean, yeah, they do have a good selection of songs. I will give it that. So yeah. So interesting.
I mean, by saying "what is this," you're actually quoting a musical.
Yeah.
There's a musical called What Is This?
No, you're quoting Nightmare Before Christmas.
Well, that's more what's this, not what is it. Oh, actually, to be fair, at the end of it, he goes, what is this, doesn't he? So I'll let you have that one.
Okay. Oof, that took me a second. Yeah, the Christmas song, well, quote unquote Christmas song. Oh, I love Nightmare Before Christmas. I love that film.
I know. I watched it Halloween and Christmas, and then just randomly. Because why not? Can't go wrong with it.
Yeah, yes. Just yes. All the way around. Like, Jack Skellington, what a Chad. Like, Halloween bros doing Christmas, hell yes.
Yep.
Ooh. So what's your what cartoon comes to mind when you think of musicals then?
Ooh.
First thing that comes to mind.
It's probably always going to be a Disney movie, Beauty and the Beast.
I mean, fair enough. That is a good film. The remake or the original?
The original.
I'm gonna say the Aristocats.
That was such a good movie.
Oh my god!
I love that film.
Literal childhood there.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be a cat. Sorry.
Man, when was the last time I saw that?
Oh, I need to show Mikey that.
God,
it's a good film.
It's gotta be
probably my favorite Disney film.
It's so good.
I mean, that's a good one. It's been like over 15 years since I've seen it. Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking, never mind favorite musical, my favorite Disney film is 98 Mulan, so...
Again, good songs in that one too.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, and followed swiftly by Lion King.
Oh yeah. Also very good songs.
Oh, like, you look back in the 90s and Disney and you just realize, oh, what a golden age.
It's a good time. Also, I realized, Part of Your World, the song in Little Mermaid, they almost cut that out of the film, and I was like, that would just be weird if that wasn't in that film.
Gonna say it, I don't remember The Little Mermaid at all.
Fair enough. And it just made me remember. I was just like, it's just weird that like that's kind of the song it's known for, and they almost cut it out. And I'm like, interesting.
I didn't know they wanted to cut it. I mean, why?
No, I didn't whenever I can't remember, but I feel like they, for some reason, thought it wouldn't be good or something. I don't know, but yeah, I was just like, oh, they nearly cut it out. Fair. Just a piece of trivia I thought I'd throw in there.
Oh yeah, nice. I mean, it's always fun to know those kind of things. Oh, Aladdin.
Aladdin.
OG Aladdin. Good. Oh, what a film.
I didn't mind the remake of Aladdin. I think that's the only remake that I generally like. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I think I was on the same boat. I was like, I don't hate it. I'll never watch it again, but yeah, it exists.
Yep.
Oh god, yeah, like, I think the most memorable part about Aladdin to me was probably, well, quote unquote, the opening where Aladdin is being chased by everyone and they're playing the song. It's like that. I still remember that part. A, because I used to watch it over and over again, and B, because I used to play the Aladdin PC game. I used to play that level over and over again.
It's such a good bit.
Do you know, Disney had some good platforming games for their movies back in the day too.
They did. I remember playing a Tarzan one.
The Tarzan one, yeah.
Yeah. Tarzan had some good songs in it too.
Oh god, yeah.
I remember I used to listen to the soundtrack in the car whenever my dad would take me to school, so that soundtrack is just burned into my brain.
Oh, yeah.
A little trivia I'll throw in there.
Ooh, trivia, go!
Usually, the songs are remade by different artists in the Italian version.
That's cool.
But with Phil Collins songs, he sometimes would sing the Italian version of the song. So he would sing in Italian. Like in Tarzan, he sings the English songs in the Italian version.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have mad respect for him now.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, absolutely.
That was way cooler than my trivia. My trivia was a bit sad, actually.
I mean, it didn't end up happening, so...
Yeah, this is true.
And it's also always good to know what if we happen to be on How to Be a Millionaire and they ask that question. True. Now we know.
This is true, yeah.
They just so happen to be like, what song did they nearly cut out of The Little Mermaid? And you're like, I know.
We Are the Champions by Queen.
Yes. Yeah.
You can prove it because it wasn't in The Little Mermaid. Oh god, yeah. Like, okay, so we've talked quite I say quite a bit, but we've been focusing quite a lot on the Disney musicals from the 90s and Aristocats. But what about some of the more classic musicals? What are some that pops into your mind?
Phantom of the Opera. I've not actually seen it, but it's one that I really do want to go see, and I've heard like people rave about it, and they're like, it's so good. So.
Oh, but the Joel Schumacher one is so funny though.
I did watch the Lindsay Ellis video on the Joel Schumacher one.
Oh, I watched it when it first came out. It was kind of hilarious then too. But yeah, I'd be interested to I'd be curious to see most of Andrew Lloyd Webber's stuff because like they are pretty well esteemed.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch that version of Cats than the Judi Dench version of Cats.
Yeah, ooh. I would like to. Oh, Cats. That's one film I don't want to watch on my own.
Oh, do you know what? When they had the main villain of one Webber 84 come out,
yeah,
immediately I just went to Jennifer Hudson singing the cat song, and I was like, this is not the image you should be having when I'm watching this film.
Oh dear.
But okay, so we've got Phantom of the Opera with one of us, and what about you, Ilaria?
Are we talking modern classics or are we talking like old classics?
Oh, give me an example of both, so I know.
So like old classics, I would go with something like Singing in the Rain.
Right.
Oh yeah, good one.
More modern classics, I would go, I don't know, it depends, because it could be Moulin Rouge, or it could be something like Les Mis. It depends on which time period we're focusing on.
Okay,
Yeah, like,
so
what would you mean, like what would you class it, making it classical?
yeah, like what would be the cutoff date between modern classic and classic classic?
Because I would say La La Land's kind of a modern classic.
Yeah.
And if it's
Yeah,
a
I
modern
agree.
classic, then wouldn't it technically be a classic by default?
Oh, now we're going into philosophical stuff.
I mean,
my brain.
it's an interesting question because, like, what is a classic? What is the cutoff point? When do we decide it is a classic? Like, because if
Is it
we,
like you have to wait 10 years and then you can be counted as classic?
yeah, like, is it that, or is it, it had a lasting impression on current day audiences to the point where, it's been recognized as one of the best, and therefore it is. I mean, we've got instant classic. Like, is it that? But does it count in the same way as it does something like Singing in the Rain or Jersey Boys or something like that? Or would it be more comparable to Moulin Rouge? Because it's a little bit more, well, quote unquote, newer. Like, okay, so, let's say classic Hollywood, 60s, 70s Hollywood, just so that, we have a time period to focus on, because if we're going to be talking about classic, then maybe there's a lot of options ranging all the way from the early days of sound films all the way till La La Land. So
Yeah.
let's focus on the golden age of musicals, quote unquote, which is 60s and 70s then.
Okay. So just for the whole time, or just for a little bit, and then maybe we could go on to more like modern ones? Or
Yeah.
do you want to just? Yeah. Okay.
Just to see what you guys would say, because like that's what I meant. So some like back in the Julie Andrews prime days and stuff like that, but or maybe we can go even earlier than that, to the Wizard of Oz days. Oh, okay, you've unlocked a beast, Ilaria.
I mean, this is the thing with musicals. There can be classics in every time period, because I also agree that La La Land is a modern classic.
But then what would constitute as modern? Like, when would it be modern and when would it be classic?
Maybe instead of modern, contemporary is a better word.
Yeah. I just sort of meant like modern because it's sort of set sort of in this century.
Okay, so if modern is this century, then eventually it's going to come to a point where that's going to be regarded as classic too. So when's going to be that cutoff point?
Okay,
2030, 2040?
I don't know, maybe we just be like, we talk about them in this time period and this time period, because it seems like it's very hard to narrow down when would count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
maybe we just talk about what I can't remember the time period you said, but 60s, 70s, was it?
Yeah.
And then maybe we
Give or
just go
take.
from there, like throughout the eras, just talk about the musicals that we get as it goes on. That could be interesting to talk about.
Yeah. Oh, Ilaria?
So I'm trying to remember whether what is the name of the bloody film?
I'm going to
no.
Google to look at the musicals, because some of them I cannot remember the name
West
of either.
Side Story. Now I remember.
The remake came out recently.
No,
Did
still
it?
has to come out. It didn't come out.
Oh,
They
didn't
postponed
it?
it. No, they postponed it. I was so looking forward to it, and this year they postponed two musicals that I really wanted to see. They postponed In the Heights, that have been postponed to next summer, and West Side Story that has been postponed to next Christmas.
Well,
So
at least you know
very
you got.
disappointed about that.
At least you know you're getting 2 musicals next year or this year.
Hopefully.
I mean,
I mean, there should also be the production, like Dear Heaven Hansen, the film is in post production, so hopefully it will be released as well, so sometime in this year.
yeah, hopefully. But In the Heights is definitely
Hopefully.
coming out because it's HBO released simultaneously. So I can't
Yeah.
remember who's doing West Side Story. So maybe.
Spielberg.
Sorry.
It's a Spielberg film. West Side Story, the
I
new
meant-
one. It's a Spielberg film.
I meant studio because depending on the studio, it could be simultaneous
Alright.
release to streaming, or they might wait. So that's what I meant.
No, they're waiting because Spielberg wants it to be in the cinema. That's the reason why they postponed it.
How dare he?
I know.
By Spielberg, so that's what caught my eye about the new West Side Story as well, because that would be very interesting to see.
Yeah, the promotional pictures look amazing.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Spielberg, I'm not doubting the visual fidelity of his films. Like, I know they're gonna look amazing. So, yeah. Oh god, yeah. West Side Story. Have you seen the original West Side Story? Because I have not.
I
Haven't
have.
either.
Oh, how was it?
I've enjoyed it. I mean, it's obviously like I wouldn't say it's for today's audiences. It's I think today it would be perceived as boring in many ways because there's a lot of dancing numbers where they just dance with this music, and I think
Okay.
today many people would perceive them as boring. But I mean, I've enjoyed it. It's basically Romeo and Juliet, but it's
Yeah.
it's enjoyable. And then there's Rita Moreno in it, which is just an amazing actress. So I've enjoyed it. It's not in my top 10 favorite list, but it's a good film, and I think it's a film that is maybe important to the history of musicals,
Okay.
because I think at the time it was one of the biggest musicals that had come out in that period, I think, or something like that. I read it somewhere that it was, I don't remember now, sorry, but it was
That's
something
alright.
like that was well liked, I think, something like that. I don't remember now.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so when you say the top 10, do you mean top 10 films of all time or top 10 musicals particularly?
Top 10 musicals.
Okay. Right, well, we'll be asking you what those are later on. You can guarantee that. I'll be taking note just in case I haven't seen any.
Oh, excuse me.
How could you?
I know.
Okay.
So rude.
So is the dancing to the music the main issue you would say that would stand between it being successful today with regards to the original West Side Story?
And also the music arrangement. It's got that vibe which is very
Of the
very
time?
yeah, which right now I don't think it would be a hit. Like,
Oh,
I don't think.
Okay, so you mean like having like the monstrous box office numbers? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but also like the musical numbers. If we think about the copies of albums sold by, let's say, Hamilton right now, that's a very huge number, and I don't think if the same music that's in West Side Story with the same musical arrangement got released today, I don't think it would get even close to.
Oh, I mean, I think
to Hamilton.
that would be kind of understandable because like they're classics for a reason, I guess, is the argument there, because they came out at a time when it was really impactful and they're being remembered as such. Like, there is the interesting argument to say, what would Gone with the Wind have done today had it come out today as opposed to 1930s? It's a completely different audience, completely different situation, and even the theater systems work differently. So
yeah, I guess that is my point, that today this film, if it was released as it was in 1961, today for the first time, it wouldn't have done as good.
I mean,
fair enough.
During the 1960s, that was also the quote-unquote Hollywood prime of musicals, so to speak, because they were pumping out so many of them quite often. Like, I guess it would have to depend on what successful would be in today's context, because like there is still a huge market out for musicals. I mean, La La Land, and even something that has mediocre writing but great music like The Greatest Showman still managed to bring in the comparatively big numbers. Maybe not Endgame level numbers, but still very big numbers. So maybe it's just a matter of they might perform the same, but because the movie-going audience today is different, it might not be looked at as a success while doing the same amount of numbers, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now we're just going into theoreticals.
Yeah. I'm curious though about the remake, especially because I want to see the music of the remake, how faithful it would be, not in lyrics so much, but in the musical arrangement.
Be interesting to see what they do with it.
What musical has been remade? Oh, aside from the Disney sequels, I mean, Disney films, I mean.
Okay, so not exclude. I think they remade the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but I don't think they made it. Technically, yeah, because the Oompa Loompas still singing it.
Oh yeah, it was very different.
Yeah, I think the remake was much different because in the Gene Wilder one, obviously they had songs outside of the Oompa Loompas singing, whereas the remake it was just the Oompa Loompas singers and the rest of the cast just talked and didn't sing.
Would A Star Is Born?
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's a musical, yeah.
Remake,
oh god, there's been many Star is Born remakes, but yeah, if we were going by the Barbra Streisand Christopherson movie to the new one, yeah. I suppose the music, the arrangements and all that doesn't have to be completely faithful, as I think the main qualifier would be just make sure they're good. Just don't make a dud.
Didn't they remake the Rocky Horror Picture Show as well? I didn't watch the remake, so I don't know if it's
I don't know.
But yeah, they did remake it. I'm pretty sure.
Let's see. Picture show.
I think so. Remake. I think they cast. I've forgotten her name, but they cast.
Oh my god! In 2016, very recently as well.
They cast somebody from Orange Is the New Black. 1 second.
Laverne Cox.
Laverne Cox.
Yeah, Laverne Cox. She's a transgender woman actress. Oh. She's in Orange Is the New Black as one of the prisoners. Yeah, they cast her as Frankenfurter.
Oh, Adam Lambert is in it. Interesting.
Yeah. I just got to mute a second so I can say goodnight to Mikey. So you guys carry on.
Oh no! And then there were two.
Ooh.
Right. Well, now that Amy's gone, how annoying is she, right?
Say that, Dylan. No, don't. No.
No, it's all in good fun, but okay, so Rocky Horror Picture Show, that's been remade. Interesting. Like, it's interesting how not many musicals have been remade when you think about it, unless you're counting the Disney originals.
I just discovered. Sorry, I'm a bit shocked because I just discovered they remade Dirty Dancing.
Oh my god! What?
Yeah. It's the 2017 film.
I think I remember that. Yeah, it came out around the same time as Footloose did.
I've seen Footloose. I've seen the remake, but I'm not gonna. I don't want to talk about it. But
I don't think. Yeah, I didn't even bother with that one.
Which one? Sorry.
The Footloose and Dirty Dancing remakes.
Oh, they remade Dirty Dancing? Why?
yeah, I just discovered it. I was pretty
What the
shocked
heck?
myself.
Oh, Abigail
Neither
Breslin
did I.
was starring in it.
Which one
Yeah.
is Abigail Breslin?
Abigail Breslin. She
Oh!
was Little Miss Sunshine. She was in
Yeah,
Zombieland. Yeah.
yeah. No, I've seen the picture. Ooh,
Oh, it was a direct
Actually, we're still
to.
talking about remakes.
Oh, it was a direct-to-TV film. That's why I didn't hear about it all that much. Okay, interesting. Maybe they learned their lesson with Footloose.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, on TV, I think they also kind of. I think they remade it. I'm not sure if it was like concert type of thing, but I'm pretty sure they remade the Jesus musical.
Oh, Jesus Christ
Jesus Christ
Superstar.
Superstar? Yeah.
I think it's that one with what is the name of the guy?
Let
come
me
on.
see. Jesus Christ. Christ Superstar. There's been a few TV live in concert. Is that the one?
Probably it's the one. Yeah, it's the one
2020.
with John Legend.
Yeah.
No,
Um,
2018.
yes, John Legend. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've seen that one. It was not bad.
Ooh, okay, interesting. Oh, I forgot they remade Hairspray with John Travolta.
Yep, they did. Doesn't it also have Zac Efron in it as well?
Pretty
Yeah.
sure it does, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's Zac Efron, so I'll let it pass.
Yeah. He did alright in it.
Zac Efron, so underrated. Um, okay, so when we actually start looking for them, we find that they're having quite a few remakes done on musicals.
They've
haven't
remade
they?
Freaky Friday?
Yes, Freaky Friday itself with
Yep.
Jamie Lee Curtis is a remake, so
And then they remade it again in 2018, apparently.
this
For
is
you?
true. Yeah. I didn't watch it, but I remember it coming out.
Why would they?
Why would you do that? The Jamie Lee Curtis one is great.
Yeah.
I'd argue even the original one was good though.
And the original.
I'm pretty sure what's her face? Clarice from Silence of the Lambs. Jodie Foster. I'm pretty sure she was in the
Yeah.
original.
Probably. I don't know. I can't remember.
Google to the rescue. Hello.
Yeah, she was. She was.
Yeah. Hooah. Well, look at us learning things. Who knew? Oh, we have gone down a rabbit hole.
We have.
Of remakes.
Nice. Okay, so I'm just trying to figure out how to frame this question because when, like, let's not, without using the word classic, rather. Okay, so when we think of musicals, pre-2000s, live action, what do you like about them, rather?
Oh.
So I think with something like Singing in the Rain or Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh god, Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah. I think the quality I love about them the most is the fact that they are so different from what we see now in nowadays musicals, the musicals that came out in the last 10 years, let's say. In both the way it is filmed and in the way the songs are sung and the music is arranged. and the stories as well. They're just, I think there's a different quality that maybe it's more about I don't know, less about the I don't know.
It's all right. I think
Yeah,
I think what I would say to add to that, Ilaria, would probably be the fact
yeah,
that back in those days, to piggyback off of Fiddler on the Roof, they treated them as if like they're not like 90-minute long digestible films. They are like 2-3 hour epics in a lot of ways.
yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah,
like the way they
Yeah.
treated them, like the way it's filmed and all of that, the way it's presented, you're more likely to associate them with a Hollywood epic rather than just a simple musical that, like The Greatest Showman is like 90 to and 2 hours long, 90 minutes to 120 minutes long, but it's like it feels so confined, whereas Fiddler on the Roof is just so expansive and open, and it feels like it's its own world, even,
Yeah.
even though it's
yeah.
based on this world. But it's I guess it's the scale of storytelling that they infused into musicals during those times that just had an epic feel to them that we just don't have now.
Or maybe it's actually the nostalgia of the fact that they had that epic feeling, and right now we don't have it anymore.
Yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
I've still had that epic feeling with some films I've watched. Like La La Land gave me that feeling. I felt like I was watching an epic film there.
Okay, so then what constitutes as an epic then?
I don't
Because
know.
from
I felt like the musicals were like grand gestures sometimes, if that makes any sense.
okay, so it's more in the term of the message or the emotion that it's trying to convey more than the
Yeah,
actual scope of the film then.
yeah, I guess that's for me.
Okay.
And in terms of like what do I like about musicals, I kind of like how sometimes basically it's a monologue, but it's in a musical style, and it makes it more interesting and more like engaging, if you will. Like I can imagine like I don't know, I'm trying to think of a musical where if you took the music away, it would just be really boring.
Oliver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a perfect example. If you took the music away, it'd be super boring.
I should know.
Like,
I was in that play. Way back
yeah.
when.
I did Into the Woods when I was in high school.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I didn't get to sing in it or anything. I was just like an extra, but still, it was pretty fun.
I was Fagin, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure my mother still has that recording somewhere.
Oh wow.
Oh,
So don't worry,
But
it's never coming on here.
fair. But yeah, like when you have characters sort of they're singing about how they're feeling, I feel like it's more engaging than if they just stood there and said a big long monologue to you. Like you'd get bored and fall asleep halfway through.
I would push back against that. I mean, um,
Like not all monologues, but
I was just
if
gonna
you
say, like, the Haunting series has plenty of monologues.
yeah, I'm aware. Like they're good examples, but like I don't know, take like Macbeth has a lot of monologues and they can tend to go on a bit.
But then that's comparing something from 400 years ago.
Yeah.
um,
but let's like if
But
we think about a musical, like let's say right now Les Mis comes to mind, but it could be anything else, and let's say I Dreamed a Dream. If that was instead of being sung, it was spoken, I think it would be much less impactful.
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
so like I think I agree with Amy. Sometimes monologues, big monologues, are better sung than spoken because it's
it's also
it's much more.
like
Yeah,
you
go
can
on.
sing along as well to some of them, like, and then it sort of sticks in your mind a lot more. Like I don't remember those monologues from Haunting at all, but like, say if they were in a musical form, I might remember them a bit better. But that might be just a personal thing. But
Okay,
like
but
for
then
me,
surely it's got to
That's
be the execution and the medium that it's trying to be in, because
oh
if
yeah.
The Haunting was a musical, you probably would remember it, but that's not
Well,
what
yeah.
it was.
No, I know.
Intended to be,
I'm
rather.
not. I'm not like saying everything should be musical. I'm just saying for me, that's what I like about them. Is I like that some of the way of communicating a character's feelings is through song, and that's just a personal preference. But like you asked us, what did we like about musicals? So
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
mm,
And that qualifies absolutely. I think the point where I guess had to push back on is saying that monologues are boring because they're not musical. I think it might have
oh
been the wording more than anything
yeah,
else.
probably.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like monologues are boring. I'm saying if you took these songs and turned them into monologues, they wouldn't
Okay,
have the
yeah,
same impact.
like it's like in Mulan then, where
Like
they had
yeah,
make a man out of you, and then he just said it. It
yeah,
fell flat completely. So in
yeah,
that case, I would agree with you.
exactly.
Because that was just not something made to be spoken, it was made to be sung.
Yeah, like
Just
they're
like,
obviously making the songs like they're making them into songs instead of monologues, so that's why it works better.
yeah, so all the way from a construction point of view, the intent from the beginning was that particular thing. That's why it works there. So,
Yes,
yeah, okay.
that's why I enjoy them.
And yeah, absolutely, that's fine. Even in instances like, let's take Oliver, where there's two characters singing and it is conversational, but it is in the form of a song, like
Yep.
I'd do anything before they go out to pickpocket everyone.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, that was a great instance of getting the characters' feelings out in the open while telling a story, while setting everything up, while moving on to the next part. So multiple things are done at the same time, and it's a catchy song. So hey,
Yep. And I agree with you, it only works for certain things. Like if you took a film, I don't know, that was a drama, and I don't
Lincoln.
know, if you made yes, I don't know if you made that into a musical, I don't think it would convey the seriousness. It wouldn't make the like I feel like when you take drama films and musicals, it kind of sort of offsets the drama, if you will. Like there's
But then it's La La Land is a drama and it's a musical.
yeah, I know. I'm trying to think of how I would like Blood Brothers is also a drama, and I mean Blood Brothers literally spoilers if anyone's not seen it.
When did it come out?
Like years ago, but
Oh, spoil it. Who cares?
I mean they literally die at the end. It's a really like there are some parts of that musical which are really depressing, but it still works as a musical. So I don't know how to I guess like say if you took there's a Jack the Ripper film, isn't there?
Okay, so
Probably.
for
If you
something,
made that into a musical, it'd be a bit like, why is this? Why are you singing
okay,
about
I would
a
argue,
murderer? But then
depend.
also you've also got
Sweeney
Sweeney
Todd,
Todd. So
exactly.
I'm just like not sure how to explain. It works for some things and it doesn't work for some, and I think maybe it's just the way it's written
Yeah,
is solely the way it works. Because yeah, you can have a musical about a murderer.
I
So
think musicals can work with every story, and every story can work as a musical. You just need to find a way to tell it.
exactly. It all depends on the execution and the intent at the start point,
I
because
think that's what I was trying to say, but I'm just not very good at wording
yeah, so
things.
for example, if you started with the intention of making a serious drama like Saving Private Ryan, and then while they're filming decide to make it a musical, it's not going to work. It's written to
No.
be a drama. Or if you made Sweeney Todd to be a drama, but it was written as a musical, it's going to fall flat. If the intention and the construction was made to be what it is, it'd be fine. Because you're already going with the intention of doing so. So Sweeney Todd, I
Yeah.
argue, could have worked either way. Um,
Mm.
Burton and all them decided to make it a musical because it was originally a musical anyway, but it works because that was the intention, and it just happens to be good at the same time.
Oh, it's so good.
I
Then
mean, we
again,
also have the opposite thing of like a film that like a musical that came from a film that wasn't a musical.
Oh, you've had loads of them because they made a Heathers musical, didn't they?
Yeah, and then there's Waitress, the musical.
And Legally Blonde is a musical now.
Yeah, there's also the Mean Girls, the musical. There's tons of that stuff.
Oh, Japan has some weird musicals. Like, we're gonna have Haikyuu, the musical, Naruto, the musical, Bleach, the musical. I'm like, fucking hell, guys, chill.
Death Note, the musical.
I'm pretty sure there is. Don't quote me on that. I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
There's
I think it is
musical as well.
Yes, I know that one.
It is the intent of the writing. But that just goes to show you can't take anything and make it into a musical if you write it in the right way.
Exactly. Like, I argue you can make a Jack the Ripper comedy if it's executed well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, majority, well, not majority, but many of these musicals usually come from a book or some other form of art. I'm thinking about, I don't know, Les comes from a book.
I mean, Cats is based literally on a poem book about cats.
Yeah, so I mean, it's all about the translation, I guess, into other forms of art.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are some that are based on true stories.
Much more eloquently than me.
There are also stuff that are based on true stories, like The Sound of Music is based loosely on true stories, and then there are books like Mary Poppins and Wizard of Oz, and then there are original stuff like La La Land, so anything can work. Like, I think it all goes back to the core issue here. Execution is what counts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But okay, so I think to go back to the original question, Amy, it's a raw emotional outburst from the songs that you like about musicals, yes?
Yeah, that might be just like me relating to them a lot. Because there are some times where I get emotions and
how dare
listening to music kind of, yeah, how dare I have emotions? I should be a robot.
Like
but
me.
Yeah, no, and music helps me kind of deal with that in a way.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
I'm also
absolutely.
like, oh no, did I say the wrong thing? Because everyone went quiet then.
No, like,
I
I
was
think
sipping my tea.
Oh, okay.
I agree with you.
I was nodding, but I should have said yes, absolutely instead.
It's okay, I do that on the phone all the time. I'm like, yep, nodding, and it's like, you can't see me. What am I doing?
I'm still doing it anyway.
But yeah.
I agree with you, Amy, because the songs usually, I think, to me at least, they resonate with me in a different way, and they sometimes can carry more emotions as well, and even taken apart from the visuals, sometimes like they can also gain a new meaning. So I agree, like
you can sometimes relate to the lyrics, even if the lyrics are not to do with what you're feeling.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I like about them.
Okay, I mean, yeah, absolutely, because like you can use music for anything really, and in terms of the emotion part of it, like if you take Memory from Cats, like that song is all emotion.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what version you're watching, you will stop and watch that segment of the song because of just how emotional it is. So,
or Gravity from Wicked.
Yeah, another good one.
The song Gravity from Wicked. I was just saying that's very emotional.
Yeah, I was in agreement.
I thought you were like, what did you say?
No, that was a as in I agree. Yeah, so, and if you want things to be subtle, you can also have that as well. Like, I think one of my favorite songs from La La Land is Those Were the Days by Emma Stone, if I remember correctly.
I love that one. I really, really like A Lovely Night, though, as well.
Yeah. And then if I just really want to get pumped up about something, then I just watch, or listen to rather, The Greatest Showman from now on, you know? It's like...
Oh, what a jam!
Hell yeah.
I actually
The
haven't
Greatest
seen
Show.
I haven't seen The Greatest Showman yet, so I should probably get on that.
Story-wise, it's pretty average, but musically, it is fire.
Also,
It's based
sound.
on a real person, isn't it? It's like based on P.T.
P.T.
Barnum.
Barnum, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very
Also,
romanticized look at P.T. Barnum, but it's a nice
Oh, okay.
family-friendly film, so I'm fine with
Okay.
that. So,
the sound design is also amazing. I
oh
just
yeah,
love the sound design in that film.
Ooh, I'm definitely checking it out then.
yeah,
I
like
am all about the
one of the like I watched both La La Land and Greatest Showman in the cinemas, and I was like, La La Land's the better film, but my God, The Greatest Showman was such a good time in the cinema.
sound.
Yeah, it's I think it's a film for everyone.
It's a feel-good film.
Yeah.
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 And Ilaria, what do you like about
Yes.
the musicals?
So, okay. I have my first love was music. I started playing guitar when I was like 6 or 7. So I grew up with music, and only later came film, around when I was, I think, 13, something like that. So the two things together, it's like Christmas for me. And I just, it's just, I mean, one day I hope I will be able to make a musical because a filmed musical, like, because it's, to me, just two things that I love put together, and the magic that is created with a musical is just something that, in my opinion, very few films can create for me. For example, the magic that gets created with something like Across the Universe, or Les Mis, or even Singing in the Rain, or stuff like that, is different from the magic of a film. Even like a very good film, like, could be even recently. I hope I don't butcher the title. I'm sorry if I do. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I mean, that's a magical film, like in the way it is filmed and the story and everything. But it's not the same magic. It's two different sources of magic, and the same magic that takes me in another dimension, kind of thing, I can only find in very specific films, and maybe that's just for me. And like, I can find it in my favorite film, Cinema Paradiso, because that's just takes me home wherever I am. And with musical, they just take me somewhere else. They take me into another world where it's possible to burst out in a song randomly, and I just love that. And I would like real life to be like that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I kind of get what you mean, because like from the way you're describing it, I have a similar kind of thing, but with animation. So whenever I'm like, oh, do you know what, kind of not feeling all that great, I'll just put on an animation and then watch that, cry for about 20 minutes, and then I'll be good again. So
yeah.
I kind of, and also, let's do it, Ilaria, because
Yeah,
in
let's
my
make a musical.
future, like,
I wanna make
a
one.
musical has been on my docket for a while, so we'll do it.
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to make one, but I'm really bad at writing music, so that's always been the problem.
Okay, so have either of you guys seen Music and Lyrics?
Yes.
Oh my God, literally you're the first person I've met that has said you've seen it. Everyone else is like, there's a film like that?
I can also sing you part of one of the songs.
Oh
I don't
my
remember
God.
the songs, but I do remember the film. It's got Hugh Grant in it, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Andrew
Drew
Barrymore.
Yeah, Andrew Barrymore.
Oh
Yep, I remember.
God, yeah, like, I don't know, like, that's a film, when I watched it the first time, I was like, meh. But then I watched it again when I was older, and I was like, you know what, I kind of like this film.
It's fun.
Okay.
It's one of my mom's favorites. I think it's fun. I don't know. It just, Well, in this family, there's a liking towards Hugh Grant. So,
Ah.
I mean, it's
maybe,
Hugh Grant.
yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe
He's
we're
really good in
biased.
2020, Death to 2020. He plays like a really eccentric professor in it, and he's really great in it.
I still have to watch that, but
It's
I'm
really funny.
curious now.
It is so funny.
But yeah, the only reason I brought that up is because Ilaria, I'll let you handle the melody. I'll sort out the lyrics.
Yeah, see, that's my problem. I'm really bad at writing lyrics, so that's why I was like, I want to make a musical, but if I write one, it'll sound or it'll like read terrible. So
but
I'm happy to just do sound design.
yeah, because I've got, well, I have 4 features in mind that I want to do throughout my life at some point, and one of them is a musical, so hell yeah.
For me, the problem is coming up with a story that is worth telling as a musical.
Yeah.
True.
Between us, we can do it.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it. Seriously, let's do it.
Yep. I'm in.
Yeah, well,
So we're
release
making a
date-
film.
Release date to be concluded, but
TBA.
Yeah.
TBA.
To be announced, yeah. But
If someone can make a musical about zombies, I'm sure we can do it.
oh my god, imagine Warm Bodies, but a musical.
That'd be so cool. I'd watch that.
Do you know what? I'm curious. Is there a zombie musical? I feel.
There's a musical
Surely.
called Zombies.
Wait, a musical called Zombies.
There is a musical called Zombies. I was talking to OG David about it a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying he wanted to make a musical, so like let's get him involved too.
Yeah.
Zombie musical. Okay, well, color me
It's called
impressed.
Zombie. Yeah. So like if someone can make a musical about zombies, I'm sure we'll be okay.
There's more than one, apparently.
Yeah, from the looks of it, there's a few.
I haven't
Well.
watched it, but I do plan to at some point.
Yes, but my god, imagine if we just made one. It's like a zombie musical that's also rom-com.
Yes.
Oh, that would be a ride. Anyway, oh yeah, talking about what we like about musicals. Yay. Okay, so very interesting. Oi, bless me. Yeah, it's really cool that the both of you had really different answers to each other. So many talking points indeed.
Yes. Ooh,
You.
what do you guys think of Bugsy Malone?
I can't remember any of it, to be honest. I'll have to rewatch it.
I like it. I think it's fun.
I just remember, wasn't Clarice in it at some point?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
that's
was in it.
literally all I remember about it.
I've completely forgotten all of the characters' names, but I do remember watching it and having a good time.
I just love how anytime I think of Jodie Foster, it's like, oh, Clarice is in it, right? It's like, she has a real name. Yeah, but
she's
so I
just
remember
Clarice
us. What were you saying, Amy? Ilaria?
I was asking, what is your favorite part about musical? Why do you like musicals?
Oh yeah, we didn't actually.
Oh my. I guess it would have to depend on the musical, because if I were to look at something like Oliver, it would probably be the emotional aspect of it, where there are a few songs, particularly with Oliver Twist, where it's like very incredibly emotional and is talking about something that's not easy to talk about. But then you have something like Bedknobs and Broomsticks or Mary Poppins, where it's just really upbeat, but also has like a moral message behind it, so it's a great learning experience for children. And then there's something like La La Land, which is just, you know, very relatable in a lot of ways, because I guess we all want to be entertainers in one way or another, and as entertainers trying to make something of our lives, that just hits home a lot. And then there's the sheer optimism of the Greatest Showman. Like, there are so many different aspects to each film. It would have to be a film by film basis, but I just like the fact that it's different, and especially in the past 10 years, something so rare as well, because especially in the mainstream, we haven't been getting many musicals, maybe once a year if we are lucky. So I guess because it's so rare and because it's so different compared to everything else we do get, I do kind of like them. And plus, if the music's fire, I'll be listening to it over and over again.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Good answer. What do you guys think of High School Musical? Dun dun dun.
I can't remember them. But
enough.
I do remember, what's it, Andre Blue?
Oh yeah.
The mophead.
Yeah.
I remember his song from way back in the days, like "Push It to the Limit" or something like that.
Oh yeah, there was
yeah.
a film that came out on Disney Channel called Push It to the Limit.
Oh, okay. So, well, I remember he was in High School Musical.
Yeah.
I can't remember much of it, so yeah.
It reminds me of
Curious.
childhood. I mean, that's those musicals, like High School Musicals. They were, at least here in Italy, they were so big.
They were
And,
super popular here too when it came out. Like
They were
you
really big when they were coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't like go past anybody in school without them mentioning it, and it was just like
It was like the
everybody
twilight of
was
the
watching
time.
it. Yeah, it was crazy.
yeah, here, like, I remember there was school merch. So, like, they sold backpacks and pencils and everything branded High School Musical.
Yeah.
Like, it was so popular that they had High School Musical merchandise in the back end of Sri Lanka.
Yeah. Oh my God, it got so popular. The third one got released in the cinema because I remember when I went to see it with one of my friends who was obsessed with it.
I went to see it as well at the cinema.
Yeah. Like I liked it, but like my friend was, she loved it. Like you couldn't, like, if you mentioned High School Musical, that's it. She'd be there talking to you for it, like hours about it, and eventually it'd be like, okay, can we stop talking about it now?
Yeah, because I can't remember it. I don't really have too much of an opinion. I'd have to watch them again to
That's
know.
fair. When you rewatch it again, you just laugh at it because some parts of it are very cringy, but some parts of it are, you're like, it's okay, it's good. Like some of the songs, like they're pretty good.
You know what I'd
Yeah,
love to do? Oh, go on, Ilaria.
No, go on. I was saying I haven't watched it since because I don't want to ruin the memory of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few things like that, isn't there? It's like, oh, I remember it being good, but I don't want to risk it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I don't know why I thought of this, but you're saying, oh, she was obsessed, I wouldn't stop talking about it. I was like, what if our Valentine's Day stream was us talking about 50 Shades?
Oh my God.
I reckon that would be a fun time.
Oh, I have so many problems with it, so it'd just be me being like, I don't like this.
It's not even got anything to do with the bondage part. It's like, it's such a funny film. Because I watched the second part in the cinema and I just couldn't stop laughing. I was having such a good time.
Fair enough. I tried to read it and like I got one chapter in and I was like, no, I'm done with this trash.
I
Bye.
made it all the way up until she described Gray's lips as melted chocolate, and I was like, nah, I'm done with this.
It's just when he describes his pui pui as like a person, and it's just like, I'm sorry, what?
Hello, Jared.
I know, it's just like, oh dear. Oh, I was just like, duh. And then like part of it, I'm reading it, I'm like, that's not how bondage works.
Or Twilight,
Oh dear.
one of the two.
Do you know what? I love the fact that Fifty Shades of Grey is based on a Twilight fan fiction.
I know, that's why I'm
Is
saying
it?
either one. Yeah.
Yeah, we could talk about both of them. Why not? They tie together.
Oh my god, I'd love to talk about Twilight. Imagine if
I
OG
want to
David.
talk about Twilight again because I rewatched them and I just my ass off time.
Imagine, like, hopefully David Prime would be there too, and we could
Yeah.
just do you know what? I love Twilight. It's so fun.
It's just goofy.
And no promises, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a Twilight and 50 Shades reference in my Enola Holmes reviews.
Oh, fair enough.
And do you know what? Enola Holmes is so bad that 50 Shades did something better.
Oh my god, that's a bold claim.
I have the
Like
argumentation
50
for it.
Shades of Grey it has an abusive relationship, so
No, it's not even to do with that. My argument is that visual representation of
okay.
themes and messages conveyed to the audience, it's more on that level.
Oh, I see.
Because, like, just a quick spoiler on the next video I'm putting out on Enola Holmes, there's a visual where Mother keeps on walking away from Ilona smiling, and I'm like, okay, so visually speaking, she is walking away from her daughter constantly, and this is how you do it correctly. And then I bring in 50 Shades, and then the elevator scene at the end of the first film, and like, this is how you do it correctly. And I'm like, I can't believe 50 Shades is useful for something. It's weird.
It's useful for how to do things visually. Wow.
Yeah, because, like, visually
surprising.
speaking, the first one was pretty good. I will give the first 50 Shades that. It visually is good.
Visually, fair enough. I just think
There's no one could have
it's just
no one could have
completely
rescued that
off-putting.
story. Bless them, they
Yeah.
tried. But yes, musicals.
Back to
Musical.
Oh my god, imagine if they made 50 Shades of Grey into a musical.
Oh my god, I'd be up for that. I would actually be up for that.
Yeah, I want to see it now.
To be honest, maybe that would make it better.
Do you know?
Maybe that's the thing it needs.
Oh my God.
That's the thing that would make it improve
Okay,
it.
so a 50 Shades musical porn parody.
Oh, that's a very.
That's fine, sure.
Uh,
I'm always down to make fun of it.
Market as well.
yeah, I mean, we're getting the bondage market, we're getting the musical market, and we're getting the high art market. And it's all gonna be streaming on Pornhub. Oh my god! Like, oh, imagine. Oh,
That'd be funny.
I'm down for watching that, by the way.
Just watching 50 Shades of Grey and just commenting on it. Yeah, that's fine.
No, I mean the 50 Shades musical porno
Oh.
on Pornhub. Like, I'm so down for that.
Wait, is this an actual thing that exists?
I don't know.
Or are we talking about me?
No, it's a
'Cause I'm a bit
hypothetical.
confused. Okay. No, because you're saying you're down for watching it. I'm like, wait, does it exist already?
Oh no, like, if it exists,
So you're
I'm
down
down
for
for watching it.
making it and then watching it.
No, if I made it, I know what
Okay.
happens. Like,
That's why I was a bit confused. I was like, are we talking about making it or watching it now? I'm confused.
if it exists, one day we'll watch it.
It probably does somewhere as a fanfic, you know.
Oh,
wouldn't
Anyone
be
who's
surprised.
listening who wants to make a musical out of
Out
50
to 50 Shades of Grey, go
you
for
will
it.
have my
Yeah.
entry fee right now.
We'll
Let's
watch
just... I will pay to see it.
create
We'll watch
a,
it and comment on it.
yeah, create a crowdfunding page. We will be donating.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I've paid to see one of them in the cinemas already. I will pay to see this.
Oh dear.
Bonus points if you streamed on Pornhub. But yeah.
What are we doing anymore?
Musicals.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought 50 Shades of Grey had come up?
Yeah. Oh well. Right. So
Left.
God damn it. I did have a question in mind, but oh yeah. So now that we have spoken quite a lot on musicals, so let's go back to one of the first questions we had at the start of the stream. 60s and 70s musicals. Which one stands out to you most, or pre-70s even? And which one do you go back to regularly?
Let me see. 70s. I think the 70s for me would probably be Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or Willy
anything
Wonka.
pre-70s. I mean, so you can have Mary Poppins,
Pre-70s.
you can have Sound of Music, Wizard of Oz, any of them.
Well, the one I watched the most as a kid was the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, like the Gene Simmons. Nope, not Gene Simmons. Wrong one. Gene Wilder.
I'm just imagining Gene Simmons as Willy Wonka now. Just a very different film.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would watch that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's Gene Simmons. I want to see his tongue stick out and just wave it around like a hand.
That would make the bit where they go under the bridge scene much more terrifying.
More than it already is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's already nightmare fuel.
And then the rest of the band members can be Oompa Loompas.
Yeah, totally. Oliver counts as pre-70.
Yeah. That was like 64 or 66 something.
68.
Oh, I was close.
For me, it has to be Singing in the Rain, although I think that's 50s. So yeah,
Singing in the Rain.
Yeah, it's pre-70s, so...
Yeah.
But we're talking pre-70s, aren't we? So
yeah, anything before the 70s. So, like, maybe if we divide it into pre-70s and then post-70s, it'll make it a lot easier for us to distinguish musicals, because after the 70s ended, musicals just kind of took a huge dip in terms of output, and
they did.
Unless they're the Disney films, there's not many other musicals around. So it makes the population easier to control.
Yeah, most of the pre-70s are mostly Disney movies that I can think of.
Pre-70s? Okay.
Sorry, no, post.
Oh,
before.
Okay.
My brain's just
broken. So post-70s Disney films are what you think of?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also really like pre-70s An American in Paris.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that one. I think I'm the least.
There's a series of those films, aren't there?
Is there?
I'm pretty sure there's like
your word for it.
2 or 3 different in the same American in Paris. Like, weren't there like 2 or 3 of those around the same time?
With Gene Kelly, there were a few around the same time.
Yeah.
There was the other one, what is it called?
Because I can see the posters in my head as I'm thinking of it, but
is it? Oh wait, it's called On the Town. That was around the same time, I think. With there's Gene Kelly and Frank Sinatra as sailors, and they arrive in New York, and they just start singing around New York, because, and then that's I think that's from 49, and An American in Paris is later, is 50 something.
51.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember very similar films coming out around the same time, so that's how because I can see a few of the posters in my head right now, just spacing out on the names.
Yeah, I mean, Gene Kelly made a lot of musicals around that time, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do like him in Willy Wonka. The only post 70s one that isn't Disney that I like is Oliver, because I haven't seen the rest of them to comment. So
Oliver's pre-70s.
Is it?
Oh yeah, 60 something, 68.
Oh, sorry, pre then, yeah. Post, there's lots. I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, I mean, post, you don't have to necessarily keep it to the Disney films, like, because it's post 70, you can come all the way till today.
Are we talking post 70s now?
Yeah.
Now, if you want to bring up either one, I'm just setting the parameters for the timelines we're working with. So pre-70s, anything before 70s, post-70s, anything up until today.
Another pre-70s, there's also Fiddler on the Roof. I think, is that pre-70s?
Yeah. Oh, it has to be.
Yeah, I think that is.
No, it's 71.
71. Okay.
Oh.
God, it doesn't.
I haven't actually watched many from before the 70s, so.
Oh my God, John Williams did the music?
Yeah.
Jeez, never realized that. Oh, what a legend. Oh, we watched E.T. in the cinema, and it was so good, you know.
Cool.
Never realized how long E.T. actually was. First half was like, wow, don't remember most of this.
I've actually never seen E.T. before.
Oh my.
I know, shocking, right? My mum wouldn't let us watch it when I was a kid. She didn't like it, so she was just like, nope, not putting it on.
I mean, there was a terrifying Bloombus that Elliot befriends, so maybe she was worried you might get freaked out.
This is a woman who left Freddy Krueger out for me to watch when I was like 9, so I'm just like, I'm not buying that.
Yes, but Freddy Krueger had a lot of wit and humor to him, so maybe she thought you might find him funny. I don't know.
Maybe. She was wrong. I had many nightmares.
No.
But now now he's one of my favourite movie villains, so you know, it worked out in the end.
Yay. Oh yeah. Singing in the Rain, Mary Poppins, Sound of Music, Oliver. There's a lot of good musicals pre-70s when you think about it.
I mean,
let me quickly double check if this is counted as a musical.
If people sing in it, then I think it would be counted as a musical.
I mean, there are people singing in Sucker Punch, but that's not exactly a musical.
Oh, wait.
Okay, so it's post-70s, 70s post, 79 to be specific, but Bob Fosse's All That Jazz.
Oh.
I would consider that a musical, yeah.
Yeah, it's classed as a musical, absolutely. Have both of you seen it? Please tell me you have.
I have, yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
I might have done actually. What? Let me. No, I haven't. Damn it! I should watch it.
One of the best films I've ever seen. Hardcore.
Awesome. Then I will definitely check it out.
But yeah, oh my God, that is such a good film. And it's a musical, which is great. But yeah, Bob Fosse, his films, are very, very influential because beyond the films even, he did Cabaret, which he adapted into a film, and then he couldn't do Chicago because kinda died. But Chicago, also a Bob Fosse production, which is Bob Fosse is just incredible because we watched All That Jazz again recently, a couple of years ago, and ever since just been fascinated by Bob Fosse.
Cool.
I mean, his choreographies are something very different from anything I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, even coming up to today, it's just mesmerizing watching some of his choreography.
Yeah. There's because I watched it recently on the Prom, the musical, the Netflix musical.
Oh, right.
I still need to watch that. I haven't watched it.
There's a little nod to Fosse.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, there's Nicole Kidman performs a song which is called Zaz. And it kind of tells a story that involves Fosse, and it's I think it's one of the Prom, the musical is divided into, let's say, two different storylines. There's the teenagers and there's the adults. I think that song is maybe the best song from the adult storyline.
Okay, so what you're saying is it's worth watching then, is it?
Well, yes, but you have to kind of completely disregard James Corden.
Oh yeah,
Like-
I'm gonna have to completely ignore it to get through it.
He barely
I mean-
exists when I watch him anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, Meryl Streep, I'm gonna quote Cam from Modern Family. Meryl Streep can play Batman and bring it home. Like, she can do anything.
I remember him saying that.
Yeah. and because she's amazing at, like,
She's
She's
amazing
amazing.
in everything.
yeah. And the two women that plays the teenagers are really, really good. They're really, really good. Their chemistry is amazing. And I think on some level I would have liked to see more of them in the film. Especially when it means seeing less of James Corden.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Because I think it was just the wrong choice for that role. It's just I don't. I keep seeing James Corden. I don't see the character, and
You just see him.
yeah, and I can think of at least other 5, 10 other actors who could have played that character maybe better. But I think the film as a whole has got some strong points and some weak points. Definitely, you can tell that it was made for the stage because it's adapted from a stage musical, and some moments you could tell they were very stage-like. But I think it's a feel-good musical, and of course some problems get solved way too quickly because it's a musical and everything turns out great by the end of it. I would say if you enjoy the genre, yeah, definitely watch it. It's not a masterpiece, but it's if you have a couple of hours and you want to watch a musical, I would recommend it.
Alright, sounds
Cool.
very interesting. Now I'm guessing there is a prom at some point in the film, because if there's not, I would be very disappointed.
Yeah, the story is based on a true story about this teenager, this girl who wanted to take her girlfriend to prom, but the school didn't allow it because it was a same-sex couple, and so somehow some other people got involved and to organize another inclusive prom. And then there are some mishaps and some other stuff happen. Basically, yeah, by the end of it, there are I think 3 proms.
Wow.
Fair enough.
So it should be called proms instead.
Proms. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Alien and Aliens. We got prom and proms. Okay, I have to momentarily leave for a few minutes, so I shall return. Until then, good luck. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh no. Hello.
So, hello. You were saying at the beginning that you really like Rocky Horror, right?
Uh-huh. I do.
Have you also seen it live?
I have. I went with my mom last year and oh my goodness, it's so good. We dressed up and everything, like people dressed as characters from the show.
So cool.
Yeah. I dressed up as I've forgotten her name. She wears the top hat.
Yeah, I get who you mean, but I don't remember the characters' names.
I've forgotten her name completely, but yeah, I dressed up as her, and my mum dressed up as Magenta. So yeah, we had fun.
That's cool. Cool.
I remember when I first watched it, I didn't have a clue what was going on. I was just like, there's people singing, there's people wearing tights and corsets and going. It's all over the place, but whatever, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I watched it the first time I watched it. It was the time they screened it at uni,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
and I was like, "What is going on? This is so unexpected and also so fascinating."
Yeah,
And yeah, and then I watched it again, and I found myself really enjoying it.
yeah. I think it's one of those films where you either like it or you just go, "This is too weird for me. I'm out."
Yeah, because it's I think it's different from the usual musical, you know.
Yeah, definitely. One thing
It's
I
good.
like about it though is like the drag aspect of it because that's pretty I would say bold for the time it came out
Yeah.
because I don't think a lot of people knew what drag was or anything like that, so I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, yeah. There's talking about drag. There is another musical coming out this year, hopefully, which is called Everybody's Talking About Jamie,
Oh, cool.
and
I've not heard of it, but
it's actually a British musical. It was created in the West End. No, it was created in Sheffield, and then it went to the West End, and now they're making a musical, like a film adaptation,
oh,
and
cool.
it's about this kid Jamie who did he wants to be a drag queen, and
Nice.
and so there's like the is the story of how he gets like he becomes a drag queen, and it's based on a true story.
Nice. I'll definitely have to watch that when it comes out.
I've seen like on YouTube you can find some songs, like you can see the stage version of some songs, and it's definitely pretty cool.
Awesome.
Um, so I would definitely recommend it to check it out. Then hopefully the film adaptation turns out good as well.
Yeah, fingers crossed. But yeah, that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yay.
yeah.
I have returned.
Hello. We
How
were
do
just
you...
talking about Rocky Horror and another musical that's coming out about someone wanting to do drag.
I mean, as you do. Everyone's got to have a hobby.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Right.
Ooh.
So, I suppose, seeing as we've spent a decent chunk of time talking about the olden days,
Let's get on to the contemporary.
I was going to say new days, but yeah, sure, contemporary is a much fancier word. The temper contemporary days. So, as far as anything, well, quote unquote, newer, what are some of the films that really stand out to you? I think we've already covered them, but what do you think of when you think of modern day musicals?
I'm gonna go on, Amy. Sorry.
I think of Chicago. I think is one.
Mm.
I haven't watched it in a long time, but I remember liking it when I did watch it. I
I
think that
haven't
was
seen it since like 2005 or 6, so I have to watch it again to see how I feel about it, but I don't remember hating it or anything, so
good.
I think of Chicago. The iconic song is the Cell Block Tango.
Oh yeah, Cell Block Tango is so good. Like you can't not dance to it, or at least move your body. It's just it's bop.
I mean, I hope that's the bare minimum a song in a musical should do to get you energized enough to get you to move in some way, unless they're talking about death. But
yeah. Oh, I don't know. Like you've got the Corpse Bride, and there's a song in Mad about how she died, and I love it.
okay, what
Like,
I mean
so
by
good.
that was having like um Okay, so for example, in Oliver, when he's in the basement singing about wanting to be free, or
Oh
Mulan
yeah.
just going, when will my reflection show me? Like, yeah, they're good songs. Not
But
exactly
they're
tap
not like
dancing
ones
songs,
you
are
pop
they?
your yeah. Yeah, I get what
um, but yeah, like, understandably, the song from Corpse Bride, like, that is a pretty fun song to snap your fingers to, rather. So,
Even this is not like a film musical, but it's the oh, maybe there is a film musical about it. But the Adams Family musical, I've listened
oh,
to some
Oh.
songs of it, and it's like they're pretty catchy, and even if they're quite dark sometimes, they're pretty catchy. Like I don't know what it is about them, but I just find
Yeah.
myself
oh,
singing like with them.
oh, the Adams Family, though. Oh, how good. I didn't even bother watching the new one because I'm like,
Oh
oh,
no.
no.
No, no one else can play not Morticia. Oh,
Gomez.
that's the one. My brain. It worked. Yeah, no one else can play Gomez like Raul Julia.
Oh, man. Oh, Adam's Family, man. What what a
Very good.
family. And the monsters. If anyone remembers what the monsters are. um,
Um,
a similarly gothic family from like the 60s. They came out around the same time alongside um oh, what's that Johnny Depp film? Shadows, Dark Shadows. That's the one. The original Dark Shadows.
oh
They all
yeah.
came around the same time. So yeah,
Um,
Monsters, Dark
I
Shadows, and Adam's Family.
I vaguely remember something called Monsters, but I don't know.
It's fine. You,
I don't know
mm,
if I watched it.
it's alright. It's a like 60s black and white serial, so I'm not expecting anyone to have. Um, I've not even seen a lot of it, just a couple of things here and there. But yeah, it's like Star Trek TOS. I've seen a few episodes, just not all of it.
Yeah. Um.
Okay, so Adam's Family musical was Ilaria's, yes?
Yeah, I mean that's not. I don't think it has been adapted from
No,
to film.
not that version at least.
Yeah, no. Um, but yeah, though that's got some pretty dark lyrics sometimes that go into a very, very like engaging song that makes you want to move.
Okay, so yeah, that's cool. I mean, you can absolutely have an upbeat song that has some really dark lyrics. So bless
Excuse
you.
me. Thank
Um,
you.
yeah, I think it all, once again, execution is the prime directive here. As long as the execution is great and you make a banging tune, you'll be fine. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I think
I
Hamilton
like
came
the
up.
songs in Hairspray.
I've not seen Hairspray, so yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Well, there's a song called "You Can't Stop the Beat," and it's very, very, very catchy.
Yeah, that's another good song to dance to.
Yeah.
Sweet. Only
Also,
because
it does have some good messages about body positivity in there.
Yeah.
fair enough. So only because it came up earlier, but Hamilton, what is thy favorite
Mm.
song? Or at least, what's the first song that comes to mind?
Oh, first song that comes to mind to me
Mm.
is the room where it happens.
Nice.
Yeah. Or
I
or
actually,
second one is helpless.
Oh yeah.
I've actually only heard one song, and I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Fair.
Bear with me.
The first one that always comes to my mind is Aaron Burke's Sir. I love that song.
Oh yeah, nice.
Um, yeah, just anytime I'm like, okay, I'm gonna listen to Hamilton, it's always Aaron Burke's on loop, and then I'm like, okay, time to listen to something else. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, the entire soundtrack is pretty great. So yeah.
Yeah. I think the song I heard was Alexander Hamilton,
Oh yeah.
which is very catchy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, going back to making musical and that kind of stuff, there's a Netflix series called Song Exploder or something like that. And episode 2 is they analyze the song Wait for It from Hamilton. And there's actually Lin-Manuel Miranda talking about it and talking about how he made it, how he wrote it, where he wrote it, and all that kind of stuff. And then there's also the musical composer, I think he was, or arranger, something like that, which I'm sorry, but I don't remember the name. And he talks about how he arranged it. And I don't know if you know the song, there's the wait for it of the choir comes a little bit late, as if it is an echo. And it talks about how the echo is almost always on the beat, apart from once. And it's amazing because it just analyzes the song in a very deep way.
Yeah, it's always really fun to watch stuff like that because, like, you can have on YouTube the guys over at Corridor Crew going over visual effects in incredible amounts of detail, or stunt guys going over stunt scenes in serious amounts of detail, and it's really cool how having someone with that much experience is deconstructing how it's done, why it's done, and just figuring it all out. Like, I think my favorite aspect in terms of visual effects and animation has to come from Into the Spider-Verse. If you've, like, you guys have seen it, right?
Oh, yes.
I have not yet. I
Oh
know I have to
my.
watch it, but
I think
Best
you'll enjoy
Spider-Man
it.
film, period.
It is so good.
But yeah, there's this one scene where Miles Morales, Peter Parker, and Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and Peter Parker, Spider-Man are swinging through trees. And there's an animation quirk where Peter Parker's going at 24 frames and Miles Morales is going at 12 frames, and that's to indicate that Miles is still learning the ropes and he's still not as refined as Peter Parker Spider-Man. It's like showing off visually just the progression of a character's ability level in that way is so interesting. You know, it's like, and I wouldn't have noticed it until someone said it to me, and now I'm just like, oh, Spider-Verse, you're
So
just getting
good.
better every day.
that's so cool.
Have either of you seen Repo, the Genetic Opera?
No.
No.
Oh, I'm alone in that one. It's so good. It's very, very dark musical. I think you'd like it. Put it this way, basically it's about a guy who repossesses people's body parts.
Is this by chance based on Repo Man?
Yeah, I think it might be.
Musical
It's got I've forgotten her name, but she plays the girl in Spy Kids. It's got her in it, and it has Paris Hilton in it. Randomly.
Alexa Vega?
That's the one. It came out in 2008.
Interesting, because there's a book and a film with Jude Law called Repo Man, and that's basically about an organization that lets people have organs to live with, but if you can't pay the debt, then they repossess the organ regardless of whether you live or not. So that's why I just went, from the producers of Saw, what?
It is very messed up.
Oh, do you know what?
In 2056.
I am down for this, you know.
You should watch it. It's really good. Like, I remember one of my friends showed me it like randomly when I was hungover, and I'm like, what am I watching right now?
Yoshiki, I know that name.
Yeah, it's based on a 2002 musical of the same name.
Ah, interesting. Cool.
I just brought it up because one of the songs in it keeps popping up on my like playlist randomly,
Mhm.
and it just made me think of it then. And I was like, I'm sure Dylan has either seen this or would probably enjoy this.
Nice. Like, oh, does it involve gore and music? Yeah, Dylan will probably like it. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
um,
If you like science fiction and gothic rock and people losing their limbs, this is the musical for you.
oh yeah, that's like a Saturday afternoon, really. I mean, one of my favorite shows is a show called Blood Drive, and it's literally like
Told me about.
it's literally a cross country race where the cars eat people, and I'm like, okay, sure.
Yeah. It sounds like a really disturbing version of the movie Cars.
Yeah.
Just if they ate people instead. That's why there's no humans.
They
It
ate
makes
everyone.
sense now. Yep,
So
they
Blood
just
Drive
ate
is the
everyone.
prequel to Cars. But yeah, okay. So with regards to segue here back to the original topic of musicals, so we spoke about some of the things that we actually think about when we think of modern day musicals or anything from the time we have been alive, rather. What do you think is the general attitude towards musicals?
I think a lot of people like them. I think, I don't know, I can't really understand why people wouldn't like them, but I guess if you're not a musical person, then I guess it's not really something you'd be interested in.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely dependent on people's taste. I mean, like my dad, for example, he's not into musicals at all. So there, and
That's fair.
yet, despite that, he has a deeper knowledge of music than anyone I know. So, like, make of that what
Okay.
you will.
I don't know. I guess you can argue musicals and like just music on its own can differ. It
Yeah,
can be different.
absolutely, because I guess like this is something I have an issue with as well when I was first getting into musicals, where I was like, I'm not a fan of people just looking out into the distance and breaking out into song when there's people right next to you just wondering what the hell's going on. Like, it took me a while to get over that hurdle, but after that, I started to
Yeah.
enjoy musicals a lot more.
Yeah, I
For
guess
me, I
it's
think.
different.
Go on, sorry, go on.
Sorry, I was just finishing off since like yeah, I guess it's just it depends on the musical because I know like there are people that really like the classic type of musical like Oliver, whereas I know if I showed Repo to some people that like musicals, they'd be like, why are you making me watch this? This is horrible. I don't like it." So I think it's very depends on the musical, I guess.
Here in Italy, I think they're very much looked over, in the sense that there's not such a culture around them. Because we don't have, as I was saying earlier, while we were not live yet, that we don't have a thing like the West End here in Italy. So musicals, even live, it's somewhat hard to go see them unless it's something like, I don't know, Mamma Mia, that is sometimes taken around and tours and stuff like that. But usually there's just like sporadic musicals here and there. I mean, there are once in a while there'll be like a very big hit, a very big musical hit that everyone watches and that'll be streamed on TV and stuff like that. Like one of my favorite musicals ever is an Italian. Well, it's originally it's a French musical that got translated into Italian and also into English. There's apparently an English version, which is called Notre Dame de Paris, and it's the story of the Hunchback of Notre Dame, but not the Disney version, the original version by Hugo, and and it's a very good musical. The songs are amazing, and that musical was so popular in Italy in the 2000s that they did a revival a couple of years ago, and it toured everywhere in Italy with the original cast, and then they were still going before the pandemic hit. And I actually saw it live in Verona, in the Arena, which is, I don't know if you guys know what the Arena in Verona is. It's like the form of it is like the Colosseum.
Cool.
It's Roman, and they actually do opera usually, or concerts, and they also did the musical there, and it was such a beautiful experience because you're listening to these amazing songs and these amazing performers, and you're actually sat on Roman ruins. So it's amazing.
Oh my god, that sounds so cool.
Yeah, and yeah, so there's that, and I actually lost where I was going with that train of thoughts.
That's all right.
So
It
yeah,
usually happens here.
Yeah. What was the original question?
God damn it.
That's a good question.
I think it was to do with thoughts on the general thoughts on
Oh, yeah.
musicals. I think that was it. Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Like whether it's popular
It's a very
or
vague
not,
question,
or
I'll admit.
what do
So, yeah,
people think of it?
As I was saying, in Italy, there's not such a culture around it. Of course, there are lovers of musicals, and there are people who are studying musical theater, and they go to musical plays, like to musical events and that kind of stuff. There are musicals that are created even here, and the companies that take them around. Yeah, but it's not as big as something as the West End, and not as national as something as the West End, and as recognized. Also because, even if we take something like Mamma Mia gets translated. So we have the ABBA songs translated into Italian, which is a peculiar experience, I have to say. So I think that's the main issue. And then even like, let's say, the films that get adapted from musicals, they rarely get into primetime TV. So I think there are people who love musicals, and like there are people who love musicals everywhere, but it's kind of not as popular as some other genres. And like, for example, when I went to see Les Mis at the cinema, it was me, my friends, and I think there was 4 of us, and then there were like other 3 people in the room. So, and it wasn't the first day of screening, but it wasn't even the last. So,
Yeah, I suppose the reason why I want to ask that is because we've been getting such a low number of musicals over the past 10 years. Like, for example, we got Les Mis, we got La La Land, we got Greatest Showman, we got, well, for better or for worse, we got Cats. And like, those are the 4 off the top of my head, and I can't think of another one that wasn't animated.
Yeah.
So there is very much the risk that musicals might not make all of its money back, so it might be looked upon as a risk, and that could be why we're not getting as many musicals, because it's such a genre film now, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very interesting considering that when these films come out, they've packed out for the most part. Like Les Mis, I don't know when you went to watch it, so I can't really comment on that too much. But I remember when it was coming out in England, cinemas being pretty packed to see it. So I don't know, maybe it's like you said, it's a country thing. It could be so.
I think like Les Mis came out on Christmas Day in the US. I don't know about the UK. Christmas Day 2012.
It came out like a week before here, if I remember correctly.
in Italy came out in March of 2013 or around that time, February. That it came out a little bit later in Italy.
Gotcha. That could have an effect effect with it as well. So yeah, quite fascinating, really.
Yeah. I have question.
Oh, go on then.
Are there any musicals that this isn't films, that you think would, or that you'd like to be made into a film? Because I have one.
Yeah, plenty.
um. Okay, so I want to make sure. Has it are the stipulation that it has never been made into a film, or can it be a remake of an existing film that's just been done poorly?
It can be a remake if you want, but mine is a musical that's never been made into a film before, and I'd like to see it made into a film.
Okay.
Is it? I'm curious.
It's called American Idiot, and yeah, it is based on the.
Yeah. I am not surprised.
I really would love to see that made into a film because I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
I mean, I've only seen the videos on YouTube, but it looks amazing and it sounds amazing, and it's Green Day's song.
Yeah, it's literally the whole album.
Yeah.
And they've made it into a story, and I'm just like, I love this. It's so good.
For me, well, they are making it. It's in post-production, but...
Oh, right, okay.
Dear Evan Hansen, to me, it's one that has to be made into film. Or, well, there's one that I would like to be made into a film only for one song. The musical is called Be More Chill, and the song, the story of the musical, I haven't quite grasped it yet, but the song is called Michael in the Bathroom, and it's such a catchy tune, and it's about this kid, Michael, who's at a party, and he's got social anxiety, and he goes into the bathroom, and he locks himself into the bathroom, and
fair enough.
He starts singing about the fact that he's in the bathroom and people outside are having a party, and then the song, it's so just amazing to me how you can sing about someone who's in the bathroom and who feels anxious about the outside world. You can analyze it in so many different levels. Well, yeah, that one for sure.
Is it weird that the first person I thought of was Michael Wolff?
He's pretty chill.
Yeah.
I mean, he could play Michael in the bathroom if he wants to.
No, only because of the name Michael. Like, none of everything else you described is anything remotely close to him, but I just heard Michael, and the first person I thought of was, Wolf.
I always think of my Michael, obviously.
Oh, that,
I call him Mikey a lot, but like his full name is pronounced Michael.
Oh.
Usually just when he's in trouble.
Fair enough. So what was the next musical you were going to bring up, Ilaria?
Oh, well, then let's see. Well, the Book of Mormon.
Oh yeah,
but
I still haven't seen that, but I'd like to.
But only if Andrew Reynolds is in it, because I just want to see more of Andrew Reynolds in life generally.
Fair enough.
I mean, Wicked would be a very nice musical to see.
Oh yeah, that's
a cool film.
I don't know if there's a Blood Brothers film, but I think that would make a good film as well.
I don't know if there is one.
I don't think
Blood Brothers. Let me see.
I've never found one.
Blood Brothers. Well, there is Blood Brother, but that's not it.
There is a movie, but I don't know if it's a musical. Nope, that's called Blood Brother. That's different.
Singular.
No,
the Blood Brothers. Nah, there isn't.
That would make a good movie, I think.
Cool.
What else?
Hmm.
I mean, there's Waitress, the musical. There's a film, but it's not a musical film. But Waitress, I think the work, Sarah, okay, I'm gonna butcher her surname, Bareilles. I never know how to pronounce her surname.
Oh, I know who you mean.
Yeah, she is an amazing songwriter, and the work she did on that musical, she wrote the songs, they're just amazing. And maybe I'm biased because I really like her music, but it's just I would really like to see that as a film, but maybe I think it wouldn't work as well as a film as it does as a musical, like a stage musical.
Yeah, maybe it wouldn't work.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can't think of any more.
Yeah, I said the only one that really comes to mind with regards to what my pick would be, and this because I haven't seen a lot of stage musicals or anything like that. So I guess what I would want remade as a film would actually be the Mary Poppins sequel, because that was hot garbage.
Oh, fair enough. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, because like I remember me and David went to watch it and we were like, "Ooh, this would be really fun." We came out of it going, "Well, that was a waste of 2 hours." So I because and it sucks because the actors were good, and it looked great, but it was very much lacking when it comes to the story and the music. So I would very much like a sequel to Mary Poppins if it was going to happen. Oh, well, it did happen, but I would have liked to remake it in a different way, make it a lot more, well, consistent. So yeah, I wouldn't want to remake something like a Phantom of the Opera or anything like that because I think it's hilarious as it is, and I kind of want to preserve that. Or at least the Joel Schumacher one, at least. And Cats is an acid trip that I do not want to change.
Fair.
I think Cats has become a masterpiece in how bad it is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure eventually, one day, if I do watch it, it will become the standard by which I judge bad films, but until that day, it will still be Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think with Cats, the problem was maybe on, like, I imagine, this is how I imagine it went in my head. So it's Tom Hooper, who did Les Mis, and who had this great idea of recording the songs live while the actors sang them and not do the lip sync. I think it just went, I'm gonna do it again. Let's do this CGI thing of like singers and actors become cats and the body is in full CGI, and then we put the face on the body. And I was like, I think he thought it was a really good idea too. And maybe
like,
maybe
no.
in 10 years time it would have been a good idea with the technology and the stuff they could have done, but not right now. No.
I mean, even then, they chose not to use motion capture, which I thought was really weird. And I'm like, you've got technology to make it easier for yourself, but they decided not to and decided to animate over the existing actor instead of generating a model, rather. So rather than doing the Gollum way, they decided to film the actors as they were and then layer CGI, which is just going to take more time. So that's one of the issues. But I think a core fundamental issue with Cats goes a bit beyond that, where it's just not constructed in a way to be a film, a cohesive story, because it's ensemble after ensemble after ensemble in terms of the songs, where there's one focus and every other cat being the support or the chorus. and then it's only one or two songs, like Memories is one of the solo songs, but beyond that, um, the core story is just not strong enough to stand on its own, which is why the musical does well, because the music does make up a lot of it, but just the fundamental construction of Cats makes it beyond the challenge to adapt to the big screen. I think that's where the big issue is with Cats. The CGI monstrosities, they are also an issue, don't get me wrong, but even then, until the plot is fixed up, I just do not think, even if the CGI was fixed up, it'll do well.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, because I actually haven't watched the film fully, because I just refused. So I just skipped through the film and just paused in some moments to see how it was. So I don't have an idea of the plot fully. And I thought maybe it was because I just skipped through it. But if you say so, then I understand that there is not much of a plot around it.
Yeah, because from what I understand of it, because this is just from what I've read of the plot, so it's each cat making its claim to go back into the living world or something, and then it's
apparently
each song is basically them making their case rather than having a beginning, middle, and end. So it's like, oh, that's one way to do it.
they want it's basically they're all competing to die.
Oh, so not even to live is okay.
No, they're competing to basically to see who gets into cat heaven.
Dark theme.
Which is, yeah, it's like these cats are all singing and being like, you should pick me to die. I'm just like, what? Okay.
Do you know what? People say Dark Souls is a pretty dark game, or Bloodborne is a dark game. Wait till they see cats.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, okay. That's. I don't even. I am dreading the day I watch Cats, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it either. But I also have the tiny, tiny thing of morbid curiosity.
Yeah. It's
Which
like
is
watching a
usually
car
the
crash in
cause-
slow motion. You're just
Yeah.
fascinated by it. Okay, so what do you think is the biggest difference between the older musicals from the good old days of like early Hollywood to modern day musicals? Like, what do you think is the biggest difference?
I feel like they're allowed to put whatever they want in it now, whereas opposed to like back then, you had limited what you were allowed to include in films, weren't you? So
In what sense?
in the sense of you weren't really allowed to have relationships explicitly shown, like you weren't allowed to have people kiss or heaven forbid sleep with each other.
I mean, like, true. I mean, like, this is very true, but that's more of a reflection of the time rather than. Okay, so sure.
I feel like a reflection of the time would impact why musicals are slightly different back then to now. I feel like it'd be one aspect of it.
I mean, okay, this could just be a personal thing, but like, okay, so because you can have people in relationships, and we have had characters kissing in those films, but if we're going to be saying, oh, they didn't sleep with each other, well, no, this is true, but I'm one of those people where I'm like, you don't have to have it, but if you are going to have it, you can.
Yeah.
So the fact that they don't have it isn't a big issue for me. So
Oh no, I'm not saying it's an issue. I'm saying it's just probably something that would make them different. And also, you weren't allowed drugs or alcohol, or depending on what era. Obviously, I'm talking about the era of the Hays Code. That would probably impact musicals quite a lot.
okay, so let's stick to mainstream. So we've got
Okay.
okay. So what do you think? Okay, let's use examples then. So say something like Mary Poppins or something like Sound of Music, even because Sound of Music's got the Nazi boys in there. So we got two very different musicals already. and then you contrast that to something like fucking Les Mis and
The universe.
Across the Universe. Sure. So those are two very different ones as well. What do you think is the biggest difference in terms of the construction of musicals from the two time periods based on those films?
Based on those films, one, I haven't seen Across the Universe, so I couldn't say.
We can change musical example then. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind if you guys are.
Literally, just take X musical and how would it be different compared to X musical from that time or Y musical from that time? Literally any two musicals, but one from now, one from then, and what do you think the biggest difference is in terms of the way they're made and how they're made or what is in them?
I'm not entirely too sure. I have I think one difference would possibly be like back then musicals were, I don't know, weren't trying to cater to like non-musical theatre lovers, if that makes any sense. Like now I feel like they try and include everybody in the audience. To try to like make it something for everybody, whereas back then it would just be they just make the film and not really try and adapt it. They just sort of stick strictly to the way it was on stage, kind of. I can't really think of any examples. I think that could be a difference.
Okay, let me try and rephrase the question then, because it could literally just be me asking the question in a retarded way. Okay, so let's think about the presentation of a musical. So, what do you think is the difference between how a musical is presented, like the way it looks, the way it's performed, the way it's written, the way it's the music is, then compared to now? And this can be production, this can be visual, this can be song, this can be marketing, this can be anything. But what do you think has been a big difference? Because I think in the start we were talking about, like musicals back in the day, like in terms of scope, in terms of how grandiose it could be, like Fiddler on the Roof, where it's literally an epic in terms of its scale compared to something far more intimate like La La Land. Like that's kind of what I'm asking. Like, what is the biggest difference you feel in terms of musicals from then and the approach they had in making them, and musicals today and the approach?
Okay. Well, when you say then, when are we talking? Because then could be literally any time.
60s.
Not entirely.
Okay, Fiddler
60s.
on the Roof, 60s, 70s.
Okay, 60s, 70s. From that, like, a big impact is also probably down to what you can actually do with film as a medium, and that's always changing, isn't it? So that'd be a big impact on how it's presented. Like, I feel like they're a bit more colourful now.
I mean, it depends because Wizard of Oz is pretty damn colorful,
Yeah.
and that's predating the time period we're talking about. So,
I'm struggling to answer this question because I really don't know. Like I say, I haven't had much experience with musicals before the 70s, so
and that's fine. Absolutely.
I don't really have an answer. I can't think of a coherent answer.
That's fine.
Literally, it's just me going, I guess this might be different, so I guess I'm not the right person to answer this question.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. Ilaria, you were gonna say something, right?
Yeah, to me, the first thing that pops to mind, like when I think of the differences, if we think about something like a musical number in Singing in the Rain, and I say Singing in the Rain because I'm more familiar with it than, let's say, Fiddler on the Roof. Let's say Singing in the Rain and something like even Les Mis or Across the Universe or Moulin Rouge. And I feel like sometimes in Singing in the Rain there are these beautiful long musical numbers where there's a lot of dancing and there's the choreography is facing the camera and the actors are facing the camera and it's all for the audience. It's like bringing spectacle to the audience, while in something like Across the Universe or Les Mis, it feels like it's more creating a little bubble where you suck the audience into and you let them feel that emotion, and it's much less in a way spectacular, and much less let's have this very long tap dancing or that kind of stuff. But then there's La La Land where actually I'm thinking about
the freeway.
Yeah, the freeway, and also the one where they're dancing on the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
That's very much, in my opinion, La La Land is a film that homages those classical Hollywood musicals and kind of nods to them, and in the way they built choreography, because there's a lot of tap, there's a lot of those shots and framing where the two actors that are dancing are both facing the camera, and they kind of dance for the audience more than for themselves. So that's maybe the biggest thing that comes to mind. And then obviously there's the musical arrangement, which today is much more contemporary.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Now that you mention it, I think that is the biggest difference I've noticed in musicals as well. Because when you think of the good old days, it's very much like what Bollywood films are now. It's very much a large action set piece, but with dancing and music. Whereas now it's a lot more intimate, and it almost feels like the music is integrated into the narrative and the visual identity of the film, rather than it being its own separate entity within the film.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I was just like, I don't know.
That's alright. I mean, I didn't really do a good job in explaining the question all that much, so yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, geez. I've pretty much run dry on questions, so if any of you have any questions you'd like to ask and pose to the group, feel free to do so. Don't feel pressured to.
Okay.
Okay. It's like, oh, okay, no pressure, I'm out. No, like
okay, bye. No.
Oh no.
I don't know. When you think of musical numbers, which ones do you like or go back to or think of? In particular, I don't know.
It depends on my
doesn't have
mood.
to be a favorite. Well, it depending on your mood, then pick a mood. What musical number comes to mind? I don't know. Pick a mood.
Okay, so if I'm feeling like, okay, I need to get pumped up, I'll always go to what's the song? I said it earlier in the stream as well. From Now On, from The Greatest Showman. And my god, we've got a comment from Lurdle. Do any of you guys sing? Yes, but very badly is my answer.
I sing badly. I sing okay-ish. I don't think I'm musical theatre.
I sing very well, but it should only stay in the shower. I'll tell you that much.
I'm probably the same.
I enjoy singing, but I am not a singer. Like when I play something with the guitar or with the ukulele, I sing with it, but I'm not in any way a singer.
Yeah, I
have done karaoke a few times, but like that's as far as I go into singing in front of people.
Yeah, I stick to instruments, the guitar or a little bit of piano or, a PlayStation controller, like things I can handle.
I wish I wish I would be able like to sing properly. I wish.
Mm.
Oh, you guys should hear Ryan sing. Like he can hit the high notes in the song "Bring Me to Life" by Evanescence.
Oh
Yeah,
my
he
god,
can
Yeah.
yeah.
hit those notes, and I'm just like,
Wow.
whoa,
Oh my
okay,
god, you're with Amy Lee?
basically.
Oh,
Also, he can rap as well, and like it's really impressive. And I'm just like, what? How do you do that so fast? Like I'm baffled.
wait, so your partner is the cross between Eminem and Amy Lee?
Basically.
Oh my god, I want to hear him do that now. We're gonna have him on stream and he's gonna rap for us next time.
I,
Swear to
I,
God.
I don't know if I don't think he would on stream, but like if you ever come out with us sometime for karaoke, then I will get him to rap.
Ooh, consider that a deal.
We should all just go karaoke, and you can all just laugh at me.
Oh, I don't know, like, ooh, hey.
No, it depends on the song.
Karaoke go-to song.
Oh, mine. Mine's Basket Case by Green Day.
Oh, nice.
I've never gone karaokeing before. So yeah, like the type of song I can handle is probably like uh Bradley Cooper from Star is Born. Like it's very simple. It's
Oh,
very, very basic. I can handle that much. Beyond
yeah.
that, I'm out.
Yeah, I attempted to sing Somebody to Love by Queen, and that went very badly.
That's
So I'm
a
like, yeah,
tough
okay,
song.
Queen is out of my range.
Oh, yeah, it's like I know
It
what I'm
was
good
fun
at.
though.
I'm not good at a lot in terms of singing, so I'll stick to my Bradley. I raised a bottle to that, but you couldn't see me, so hey,
Yeah. Thank you for the question, Lurdle.
yeah.
Gave us something to talk about.
How absolutely dare you?
I know.
Oh, it's cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Feel free to send any questions you want to those of you who are looking or watching.
Yes.
I might be mistaken, but weren't one of you two going to ask a question or say something before we started talking about?
I think so. I think we
Oh
were still
yeah,
talking
you
about
asked.
like musical numbers that
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
you think of or go to.
Um. So if I want to cry, like really ugly cry, I
Yeah.
will go with Lemy's Empty Chairs at Empty Tables.
That is a tearjerker, that one.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Or the one where still from Lemy's, I don't remember the name. A Little Fall of Rain, where I think everyone knows this story. But they're on the barricades and one of the characters dies,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and that brings me to tears as well.
It's very sad.
I don't think any song has brought me to tears yet. We'll see. We'll see. Still a long time to go yet.
Yeah, that's about it for crying songs of musicals.
Yeah, I think for me it depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Like sometimes I'll put one of the songs from Moulin Rouge on, but like lately I've been listening to La La Land a lot when I'm cleaning because I find like it helps me clean quicker because I'm dancing around cleaning everything, and then by the time I know it, I'm like, oh, I'm done cleaning. Woo! So yeah, the song "A Lovely Night" is my cleaning song apparently now.
I mean, you can do a lot worse when it comes to cleaning songs.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we're going by La La Land, I suppose a song I listen to in order to just kind of marinate in a moment and just not think is probably going to be Emma Stone singing the audition song.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That's my meditation song. I was like, okay, let's just chill for a moment. And another one of my chill moment songs is probably got to be Maybe It's Time from A Star Is Born, Bradley Cooper.
Oh, nice, yeah.
I still have yet to watch A Star Is Born, so this is just kicking my ass and making me be like, I need to watch these musicals.
Do you know what? It is Star is Born. Not bad. I quite liked it.
Cool.
For me, Shallow from A Star is Born.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of Assistant David and I's song. Like,
Please
because-
tell me Assistant David sings Lady Gaga's part.
well, we kind of like we sing it together, but
Oh, okay.
none of us is like properly singing it. We're just kind of having fun. But it's like, we went. A Star is Born is one of the first films we went to the cinema to watch when we began dating.
Oh,
So it's
Oh, that's
kind
so
of
cute.
yeah. So it holds a special place, because then I hope he doesn't mind me saying this. He's not listening to the podcast anymore because he's going to bed soon, because tomorrow he's got to work.
how dare he?
But he says bye, by the way.
Oh,
Bye.
bye.
We came home, and we kind of just put on the soundtrack on the balcony and just kind of slow danced on the balcony of my apartment in Liverpool.
That's so cute.
Yeah, it was a very romantic moment.
Aw.
For a second, when you said you guys were dancing, I was just imagining you just bouncing around, being jolly, and then you said slow dancing. I was like, okay, different image.
Well, I tend to do that. In the sense that sometimes I will. Hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but I will put on musical songs. Usually, it's like something from In the Heights, and I will just blast it, and I will start jumping around and kind of put him on the spot to dance with me. But
That's cute.
I still remember that time when we were in the library together and you and David were like, oh, hey, Dylan, by the way, we're dating. And I was just like, yeah, I know. It's like, how? I saw you guys earlier. Like, oh, I still remember that day.
yeah.
Okay, so, I'm curious. What do you guys most often find yourself listening to musical songs to? Because I feel like we've got a different answer for each of us.
What do you mean?
Like in terms of
like
mood or motivation or doing something. Like when do you most find yourself not watching but listening to a musical numero?
Usually when I'm feeling this like nostalgic or, happy. Like I don't tend to listen to musicals when I'm sad because I don't know I don't know why. It just doesn't I don't feel like I'm in the mood to listen to a musical number. Like I just kind of tend to drift more towards like other types of music when I'm sad.
Like Metallica.
Um,
I was joking, by the way.
yeah, kind of. Not Metallica, but like sort of in the heavy metal genre.
Gotcha.
That just tends to help me with being sad. So maybe if, something from Repo would probably be something I'd listen to when I'm sad. I don't know.
Cool.
But yeah, when I'm feeling nostalgic, I always listen to the song from Anastasia. It's Once Upon a December. Like
Oh
that song
my God,
always
I
makes
love
me
Anastasia.
nostalgic. I love that film so much. Like that is my childhood. I used to watch it on repeat. I'd make my dad watch it with me. I'd make my dad act scenes out from it with me. I love that film.
Okay, I didn't go that
They
far.
made a musical stage version of
Yes.
it.
Oh
I would love
yeah.
to see the stage version of it. It would be so cool.
The music sounds amazing from the stage version.
Oh wow. But yeah, nostalgic. I'll put that on, and I feel like I'm 10 again.
What's the bat's name? Bartog? Bartog?
Yeah, Bartok.
Bartok.
I love
Bartok.
him.
That's the yeah. Oh man. Such a good
For
film.
me, yeah.
Also, you have Christopher Lloyd as the bad guy in it.
I mean, that's just him by default. He's just not even acting, is he?
Yeah. He's also the bad guy in the Kingdom Hearts games now as well.
That does not surprise me at all. So, Ilaria, what were you saying?
Also, for me, I don't tend to listen to music songs when I'm sad. I would go to something else.
Yeah.
It just they kind of see that's the weird thing with musical songs for me. It's just sometimes I would just wake up in the morning with a song in my head, and maybe it's been years I haven't listened to this song, or even I don't remember where it comes from. Like a couple of weeks ago, I just woke up with two notes in my head and was like "tutum," and I kept thinking "tutum," and then
Oh, I hate when
slowly,
that happens.
yeah,
Yeah.
slowly it came to me, and I started humming it, and then I realized, oh, I know what this is, and it was A Summer in Ohio from the musical The Last 5 Years,
Okay.
which is, as a film, it's a very bad film.
Fair enough.
But I think the songs are pretty good, and the two main protagonists are Anna Kendrick and Jeremy Jordan, and Jeremy Jordan is amazing in it. I think he might have played the Broadway role as well. I'm not sure. But that song is just so catchy, and the first, or one of the kind of the beginning, there are these two notes that are tutum, and that's how it came into my head, or just, I would just wake up and having into my head the what is called the Season of Love song from Rent, and I would just go on and on singing it, or the still from Rent, the Will I Lose My Dignity canon, and in my head I'm singing all the parts of the canon. Or I don't know, it just depends. They just pop into my head, and I just go and listen to the music, to the musical album usually, or something like that.
Yeah.
But then if I want to get hyped, I would also choose from now on from The Greatest Showman or stuff from Hamilton.
Oh yeah. Those are choices I wholeheartedly endorse. Yeah, like in terms of having two notes going ta-da and then just trying to figure out where it's from, the worst it has ever happened to me was it took me 3 months to figure out that it was from the opera Carmen. And I was like, like the relief was just incredible after I figured it out. And then ever since then, I've never forgotten, so I'm glad.
Yay!
But those 3 months were just excruciating because it's not even like a significant portion. It's like a 5-second snippet of it, and it's just playing on repeat over and over and over. And I was gonna go Joker on that if I didn't figure it out. Like I would hunt for a Batman if I had to. Oh,
I mean,
unrelated, but because Joker came up, there is a manga that just came up where Joker has to raise Batman as a baby, and it's him being his dad, and it's hilarious.
I need to read this.
Like the inciting incident is basically grown-up Batman having a fight, and Joker gets pulled in a really awkward way in ice chemicals, and Batman ends up falling into the vat, and instead of transforming him into like something deformed, it reverse ages him till he's like an infant, and Joker's like, I need my arch nemesis back. So he's trying to raise Batman as a virtuous baby from start, while Joker is wanting to stay a villain so he can continue the fight when he's old again.
Wow.
It's mental and it's amazing.
That's crazy.
What is it called?
One Operation Joker.
That's cool.
Okay, I'm reading.
First issue literally dropped like 3 days ago, and it's glorious.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, that was just a quick detour. Ilaria, you were going to say something about...
Oh yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say.
We were just talking about remembering music after a long time,
Yeah,
and
I now remember. It was, I don't know about you guys, but then when that happens and they just stick with me and I can't figure it out, I often find myself Googling, like, what is that
Yeah.
song again?
What
yes,
is this song? Or you have like a couple of words, but you don't know the rest of it.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
ends up popping into it. So I
But
end up typing into Google, what is the song with these words in it? And then you get a bazillion results, and you're like, nope, that's not it. Never
the
mind.
worst one is when you don't even have lyrics, when it's just a tune, and you're just trying
Oh,
to remember where
yeah.
it's from, and you're just googling everything.
Yeah.
Oh. And the only reason I found out it was Carmen was because I remembered it was in the film The New Guy during a workout montage, and that's how it led me to Carmen, of all things.
Oh,
Oh, I hate that when you hear a song in a film and you're like, what the hell is that song called? And you
Yeah.
have no idea what the title is. You just have the tune or the words, and that's it. And it's like, what is this song? So I can get it out of my head.
And then once you figure it out, you will never forget it.
Yeah.
Ever.
Once you figure it out, you're like, yes, I know what this song is
I
now.
have leveled up. Oh, um, yeah, I think. Oh, yeah, we were talking about mood and what music
Mood.
music we listen to from musicals. Um, yeah, it's weird because I have two types of musical songs that I listen to. One is the very much audition from La La Land, or maybe it's time from A Star Is Born, and they're very similar in the terms of like they're two very slow, solo, simple songs that are like talking about. Okay, well, I could be doing this with my life, but my God, it's not really all that great, is it? Kind of songs, but
Yeah.
um, those type of songs I listen to when usually I'm walking somewhere, like if I'm meeting someone at the cinema or something like that. That's usually when I listen to those songs, or when I'm already doing something. Whereas when I listen to From Now On, for example, or Alexander Hamilton, it would most likely be right. I'm feeling demotivated and I need to do something today. I'm gonna listen to this and hopefully it'll work out.
Yeah.
So those are my two moods for listening to musical numbers.
I think it very much is a case for me. I have to be in the mood. Like if I'm not feeling great, then I will tend to put on music that reflects that I'm not feeling great. It's weird. But it's never like in like, melancholy style. It's always like it's almost like because I'm angry that I'm feeling that way, I end up listening to music that is also angry and matches that mood.
Okay,
So
interesting.
I'd probably pick a song from a musical that sort of expresses anger in some way or another.
Hmm.
Because I'm kind of angry at the fact I'm sad, if that makes any sense. My moods are weird, I don't know.
I can just imagine your head being like in Inside Out, where anger is having a full on argument with sadness. Just like,
Yeah,
why?
basically. When it's like I'm sad, like anger just comes along and starts going, but why are you sad today? And sad's like, I don't know, I just am.
I,
Everything sucks, okay?
I can just imagine anger doing a Bart Simpson going, why you little?
Yeah, just be happy or I'll hit you. And sad's just like, I would if I knew how. Stop it.
And then Joy comes along going, hey guys, bye guys.
And then literally everybody just stares at Joy like, what the hell are you doing here? Get out.
Getting
Not
high.
today.
You know, I've run completely dry when it comes to asking you guys questions with musicals.
I
So
have a question.
yes.
Do tell.
What is that musical you never get tired of?
Ooh.
It could be
I know.
from watching it or also from like listening to the album or the songs.
Um
Rocky Horror, I never get tired of the songs from that. They pop up on my playlist all the time, and I'm just like, yep, I'm okay with this.
So my answer would be based on what I do listen to consciously, and they're either A Star Is Born, La La Land, or Greatest Showman. One of the three. Those are the ones I have listened to the most. But I have listened to musical songs. But it's just in terms of the frequency at which I listen to those three are higher than the others, so I'm just gonna go with one of those three.
I'd say La La Land's one for me as well. That pops up a lot. La La Land and Rocky Horror are the two that I always end up listening to at some point.
Mine would be Across the Universe.
Cool.
Because they're Beatles songs, and I find myself listening to the Beatles a lot.
Okay, so when it comes to a situation like that, do you listen to the cover from the musical or the original by the Beatles?
So, it depends. Because if I'm on Spotify, then at least in Italy, at least up to the other day, there's only one song from the musical available on Spotify. So I would listen to the Beatles songs, but then sometimes I just go with the specific songs from the musical and I just put them on YouTube. Especially with some songs, because I've just seen a face. I just prefer the Beatles version. But something like I Want to Hold Your Hand just feels more personal to me, sang by a woman. So the version from Across the Universe.
Cool.
So it just depends, because sometimes I just listen to both, one after the other.
Oh, so, I thought you were gonna say simultaneously. I was like, wow, that takes talent.
No.
That's skills.
But yeah, I for every mood there's a Beatles song, and I think that's because something like Les Mis, it's not for every mood.
True.
And same thing with Hamilton, but with Across the Universe, I think you can find a song for every mood in there.
Okay, so
I'll take your word for it.
Ilaria, if you have a VPN, use the English VPN. Go to England, and Across the Universe soundtrack, all of it is in the English Spotify. Just so you know.
Is it? Oh, nice. I do have a VPN, but I never used it for Spotify. I don't know why.
Well, now you have a reason.
Oh well. Yeah, now you can.
I just checked just in case, and yeah, all of the Across the Universe from the film itself are in a playlist on Spotify.
Neat.
Nice.
Handy.
And the Beatles ones are there as well, so you can just watch them one after the other. Listen to them rather.
Nice.
Okay, so what's your favorite Beatles song, out of curiosity?
Oh wow, this is a difficult question. You
can just tell me the first one that comes to mind if you want.
Right now, I Will. The song I Will.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, I Will. It's like, okay, I'm looking forward to it. Now the song, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
The one that stuck in my head the most is Hey Jude, because I remember trying to learn that in school.
Mine's Hey Jude as well. I love that song.
I like it. It's nice on the piano as well.
I just love Paul McCartney's performance during that song. I'm like, whoa, where's this Paul McCartney come from? But yeah, Hey Jude is my favorite. But then Come Together, also pretty banging tune.
Yeah, it's a good one. Imagine's a good one as well.
That is, interestingly, John Lennon's solo. When he went solo. But or if you are more into George Harrison, him with the Traveling Wilburys, very good, because it's him, Tom Petty, and Bob Dylan doing songs together.
Cool.
Paul McCartney still doing songs, which is mental.
Yeah, he is. Go, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think we've spoken about this yet, but Mamma Mia, what are your guys' feelings on that film? Or either one of those films, rather.
I haven't seen all of it all the way through. I've just seen some of it. I think I watched a CinemaSins video on it, so I've seen some of it.
I cannot stand CinemaSins.
Oh, fair enough.
So you were gonna say I cannot stand Mamma Mia, and then I was like, then we have a discussion to do.
Okay, so I can't stand Mamma Mia either, but I do love the second one. It's weird.
I haven't watched it. I do love ABBA though, so I imagine I'd probably just enjoy the songs and whatnot.
So Ilaria, let me put an asterisk. I haven't seen the original Mamma Mia since it come out, the film I mean.
Okay.
So I may change my mind now, but from what I felt at the time, I do not like it. Then again, this is from like 15 years ago, so I may have different opinion now. Let that be the asterisk when I say that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like the second one. I know that much definitely.
Say, I don't have an opinion because I haven't seen either of them. I've seen them through other videos, kind of thing, and obviously CinemaSins is like they nitpick everything. So the video is negative, but like personally,
I mean, CinemaSins, all of their videos are technically negative.
Yeah, I mean, there's another channel called Cinema Wins, and they like pick out good things about it. I tend to watch that one a bit more.
I have issues with both those channels. We can talk about it some other time, but
okay.
Yeah.
But I have no opinion. I am indifferent till I watch them.
But yeah, I would be interested in revisiting the first Mamma Mia to see what I think about it now, because it's been so long, and I do kind of like the second one. So there is a conversation to be had. I agree with you there, Ilaria. So I just have to watch it again, so I'm fresh on my opinion.
Yeah.
And I have
it really
to watch
wouldn't be
it the
fair.
first time.
Because it really wouldn't be fair to have this conversation with you with a 15-year-old opinion that I'm not even sure of anymore. So
yeah, that's bad.
I think, to me, Mamma Mia, I mean, I don't think neither films are about the script. Because I don't think they're masterpiece of scripts. But I think it's a feel-good film, and it's a film you can watch with your family. Meryl Streep is in it, and
oh yeah,
she can do whatever. And it's just, I think it's, I don't know. My dad liked it, and my dad doesn't like musicals, so it's one of those films that can maybe, in my opinion, interest a broader audience. So yeah, but I like ABBA songs. I liked the fact that it's a bit over the top with everything. I mean, I can see why you can say that you didn't like the first film, because I think as a film, it's not a masterpiece, but it's something enjoyable, something you watch when you want something light and breezy, and something that just brings joy.
Saying that, I'm not overly picky with a lot of the entertainment that I watch. I mean, I have a great time with Batman and Robin, and that's hardly a masterclass in writing. So, like, if there's a good time to be had, and it just so happens that it's the type of good time that I like, I will have a good time with it. Like, listening to 28 or 30 different Arnold Schwarzenegger puns in Batman and Robin just happened to be my good time. So I don't know, like I said, I've only seen the film once all the way through, and that was 15 years ago when it first came out. So I was a very different person back then. Like, when I was 11, I was very different. So I might have a different perspective on it now that I'm older. I don't know, but yeah, if I'm going to be talking about it definitively, I'm going to have to watch it again. That's all I'll say. I was just curious to see what you guys thought of it, if you had watched it rather.
I wasn't really into musicals when it came out, so I was just like, okay, musical, and then just moved on. So I am a very different person now too.
Yeah, I'm from the way I look at media, I've changed like more in the past year and a half than I have before. So, um, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, because what did you think of the second one? Because I've watched that a lot more recently and can remember much more of it.
It's very fun. Um, I've had a really good time, and I think visually and from a technical point of view, I think it improved from the first one. But then it was lacking the Meryl Streep presence from the first one. So yeah, but I think I've enjoyed it. I had a good time. It was a nice film.
Yeah, I remember having a good time with it as well. Again, only saw it once in the cinema, so yeah. I guess if I were to have like a proper in-depth conversation about it, I'm gonna have to watch both of them. But yeah, I was just curious to see what you guys thought of it. So yeah. Um, what else is there? Unless you guys have a question you would like to pose to the rest of us.
What's the weirdest musical you've seen?
Quest for Camelot. It's a cartoon, I admit, but
I know, I've seen it. I love it.
I love it too, but I'm like, what the hell is this?
It is very weird.
Like Gary Oldman singing a song is just weird.
Oh, definitely.
And the two-headed dragons, and it's like, okay, like, oh, sure, fine.
I just love the two-headed dragons making a reference to Jason. Just like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's just.
I'm like, why is this in a kids' film?
Oh, they don't make kids' films like that anymore.
It's got Carrie Elwes in it as well, hasn't it?
Who?
He's in. Have you seen Robin Hood Men in Tights?
I have.
He's in that. He's Robin Hood in that.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes, this is true. I just remembered who he is.
Would Robin Hood Men in Tights count as a musical? Because people sing in it.
I would say so. In which case, my god, that's a top tier musical.
That is such a goofy film. I love it.
Ilaria, what were you going to say before we diverged on that?
Yeah.
For me, I think I've seen it very recently, and so I don't know if you're aware of it, but they made a musical called Ratatouille, the TikTok musical.
Okay,
And
I have not heard of it.
What?
Basically, yeah, it's I was shocked as well. Basically, it started from TikTok, where during the quarantine, some people started inventing songs about the film Ratatouille, and some people from Broadway saw it and actually made proper song about it, and they did this musical, which was available online. You paid like a minimum of $5 and to a maximum of, I don't remember, it was like a donation based thing, and you could see this musical online because it was benefiting the Actors Fund, and I paid the ticket to see it, and it was one of the most weird experiences I've ever had with a musical, because first of all, the actors weren't on the same place. They were like all in different boxes, as if it's like a Zoom call, let's say.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
But then they were in a kind of costume, more of DIY costume, but the music was really good. Like the songs were really good, and they just sang, and then there were like the musical numbers had the dancers with the TikTok effects of like having one person in the center, and then there's like the mirrors, the same person on the sides, and that kind of effects, and it was very peculiar experience. Yeah, but the music was very good, and the thing is, I came across of it because it popped up in my Instagram search feed, like the exploring feed, whatever it's called, And I was like, this looks interesting. And it was cheap, so I just was like, okay, I'm just gonna watch it. And I mean, the performers were like proper people from Broadway. There was the guy, which I don't remember his name. Um, is in the Netflix show as well. Oh wait,
I'm gonna need a
I'm
little
gonna
bit more than Netflix
I know.
show.
Sorry, Titus Burgess.
Oh right, Titus Burgers. Yeah.
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. He's in
Oh.
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. And then there was like people like Kevin Chamberlain or Ashley Park, that kind of people, and also Adam Lambert. So
He's been popping up everywhere recently.
yeah, and I mean the music was really good. Some very catchy songs and stuff like that, and it just how this musical came to be, I think, was like very peculiar.
You know, I remember when Adam Lambert was auditioning in American Idol way back in the day.
Yeah, me too.
Oh wow.
Like, my God, where he has gotten to is impressive. But also, speaking of that, Ratatouille, 4 hours ago, it was announced that they're gonna have an encore performance on Sunday in TikTok. So hey.
Oh wow.
Oh,
That's cool.
Just 4 hours ago they announced it, so hey.
if you want to watch it, it's definitely something peculiar and something that I think right now it's one of a kind.
Ooh.
Cool. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think the weirdest musical I've ever seen is gotta be, it's called Eight Crazy Nights and it's by Adam Sandler and it's just
I forget about that film sometimes.
what is this? It's just like, what am I watching?
It's great. It's not good. It's great.
It's weird.
I watched that so many times as a kid.
Same.
Do you know what though?
I don't know why, it just intrigued me. I was like, what is this? And why am I drawn to it? I don't know.
The weirdest part of it is Eight Crazy Nights. The animation in it is stellar.
I know.
It's
Like, I feel
incredible
like
animation.
that's probably why I watched it so much, because I was like, this is animated really well for a piece of garbage.
Yeah, and it's like, it's staggering how good the animation is, and I'm like, oh well, but yeah.
The animation is probably the only good thing about it. The rest of it is kind of just very offensive.
Oh God, I can't remember the offensive parts because again, it's been like 10 years since I've seen it. But God, every time we bring up a film, it's like, yeah, it's been like 10, 15 years since I've seen it. But remember, like, it's just like I almost feel like I'm getting to that point where it's like, yeah, back in my day.
Yeah. We old.
But I remember Eight Crazy Nights having overall a decent theme behind it of
Oh yeah.
not holding on to past pain and stuff like. I really like that part of the film, but like I said, I need to watch it again to refresh my mind on it.
Yeah. Like, most of the offensive parts is like your standard Adam Sandler offensive humor, make fun of stereotypes of
the best kind of humor.
Make fun of disabled people, make fun of basically everybody.
Okay, see.
So at least it's universal in making fun of everybody, but it's still pretty offensive and pretty, like, it is definitely not okay.
See, I'm on the South Park kind of mindset where, like, if you're going to make fun of people, make fun of everyone out there. Don't just pick and choose. And if you're not going to make fun of everyone, well, that's cool too. I
don't know. I think South Park has done it differently. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like Adam Sandler, it's just unnecessarily mean. With South Park, it's kind of very obviously satire kind of thing.
Oh, they can be. I don't know. Like, I haven't seen recent South Park, but they were pretty hardcore way back in the day. South Park.
Yeah.
Then again, another show I haven't seen in like 15 years. Jesus.
Yeah, same. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Just everything to do with like Adam Sandler's humor just feels like it's deliberately just punching down to be mean. Like it's not funny. Like I feel like if you watched it and like some of the jokes you watch it and like they're not even funny, it's just like that's just unnecessarily mean. Why is it there?
Yeah. I
Like I understand comedy is subjective, but like some of it I'm just like I don't see how that's funny. You're making fun
okay.
of a disabled person.
So
So
so when he's
but yes, it
yes,
was weird.
comedy is subjective, but I also stand by the fact that much like writing, yes, it is subjective in whether you like it or not, but there is an objectivity to how a joke works. Um,
Yeah.
like there's the set, like much in the way of Prestige, there's the setup, there's the mid part, and then there's the punchline, and
Yeah.
that is the way the standard joke works. The effectiveness depends on the content that are in each of these points. So there is an objectivity to humor, whether you like it or not is subjective. I will say that, but that's a different conversation altogether.
Yeah. But my point is, like, the humor in it is just unnecessarily mean and unnecessarily offensive.
Do you know what? I will take your word for it because I can't remember much of it anymore. I just remember, oh, animation was nice, and I remember him at the mall having a gut wrenching scene. That's about
Yeah,
it.
the gut wrenching scene perfectly fine. The rest of it's just not needed. Like,
The rest of
if
his
it serves a
filmography.
purpose,
um,
yeah.
oh, I still love Happy Gilmore and Big
I
Daddy.
used to love Happy Gilmore as well. I just can't watch it anymore without getting annoyed because Adam Sandler annoys me, which is a shame. Because I also really, really liked The Wedding Singer as well when I was a
Oh,
kid.
I still love The Wedding Singer. I still quote The Wedding Singer.
Yeah. If do you know what? If I ignore the fact that it's Adam Sandler and just kind of focus on it's a different Adam Sandler, it's the Adam Sandler that I want to exist.
I mean, yeah, I think everyone feels like that because, like,
Yeah.
Adam Sandler for the past 15 years has just been, I want a vacation, Adam Sandler, whereas before that,
Yeah.
he did try.
Yeah. Like with The Wedding Singer, I would say it's not a bad film. Like I liked it.
I still love it.
Anyway.
So, make
Yeah.
of that what you will.
I
But
don't
yeah,
remember it well enough. I think I'll have to rewatch it.
I'm one of those people where I wish Adam Sandler does more drama because he's very good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but like Punch Drunk Love, Spanglish, Funny People, and even that Reign Over Me. Fantastic performances despite the quality of some of them, but yeah, he's fantastic as a dramatic actor. He just doesn't do it enough, unfortunately.
Mm. But yeah, Crazy Nights probably the weirdest musical I've ever come across.
Yay. So yeah, I'm running on empty, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also getting very sleepy.
Oh,
Sleepy.
yeah, I was meaning more mentally. I genuinely do not know what to ask next. I feel like we've covered quite a bit, related
have.
and unrelated. So, unless
Yep.
you guys have any last things you want to talk about?
Not that it comes to mind.
No, I think we've covered pretty much most things.
Yeah,
We definitely talked about musicals.
Hell
we
yeah.
did.
It's all good.
So, Ilaria, congratulations. You are the only guest we have had who have stayed for 3 hours.
Well
Oh.
done.
And beyond that, 3 hours
You get
twice.
a t-shirt.
Oh, I feel honored. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So every other guest, bunch of pussies, really, just bowing out after 2 hours. Oh, they're not hardcore like Ilaria. But yeah, I suppose recommendations. Is that what's next before we?
Yeah, that's
Toodaloo?
usually what we do before we wrap up. Excuse me.
So should we stick to musicals, or
And we can do.
okay?
I mean, what we usually do is like something tied to what we've been talking about, or something an actor's been in.
Yes.
But we can go with musicals.
Yeah, considering it's related to what we talked about. So,
Yeah.
I suppose if I was going to be recommending a musical, I would say All That Jazz. Watch it now.
Cool.
So, yeah, that's my recommendation.
I'll be watching that at some point. I'm gonna recommend Repo because it's really good.
Nice.
And Ilaria?
Can I do 2?
Yeah, go for it. Do 3 if you want. I don't mind.
I'm gonna recommend a musical film and a musical TV show.
Ooh.
So musical film, I'm gonna go with Across the Universe.
Do you know what? I knew you were gonna say Across the Universe.
It's an amazing film directed by a wonderful filmmaker who's a woman. So go watch that. It's music by the Beatles, great performers, great visuals, great editing, great everything.
Yeah.
And the TV show I'm gonna recommend is that if you don't want to really stick to 2 hours long films, but you still want to like get eased into the musicals genre, watch a TV series called Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I got a TV show to recommend as well, actually. You just reminded me.
It's go on.
I'll let you finish.
It's a TV show. I think it's NBC TV show. I'm not sure. Well, it's about this northern girl. This one.
Ilaria?
I think you cut out a little bit there.
So the songs people hear, like sing in their head or like with their heart, and it's a musical. It's funny. There's romance involved. It's a bit of everything.
Oh my God, Lauren Graham's in it.
Oh. Yeah, she sings as well.
I love a Gilmore Girl.
Yeah, she's good. Yeah, that just reminded me of a TV show I watched not long ago. It's called My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Oh yes.
Oh, nice.
And it's very good. It's about a woman she's suffering from mental illness, and basically the songs are all like what's going on in her head, but also you get other people singing as well. There's a song in there about being bi, and it's so good. Like, it's just this guy who's realized he's bisexual and he starts singing about it, and I'm just like, this is so good. And it's not very long. It's like 20 minutes each episode, and there's some songs are really funny, some songs are kind of like dramatic, and then some songs are just kind of there to be chill. Yeah, it's a really funny show, and I think, again, if you don't want to put it with like an hour-long musical, it's pretty good. So yeah, I would recommend that.
I would definitely watch it.
Hoo-ah. Righto then. I suppose with all of that out of the way, it is time for us to bid all of you adieu. Thank you everyone for watching up until this point and tolerating us more than anything.
Oh, yes. I appreciate
we hope you had fun, because we did, right? Say yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
If we don't say yes, he kills us. I mean, what?
Hey, you said it, not me.
So it's a pleasure being here with you guys, chatting about films.
And it is a pleasure to have you here, Ilaria. Before we say our final goodbyes, Ilaria, tell the good people where they can find you.
Yes. So they can find me on Instagram. The handle name is shootingbears_productions. And there you can see a little bit of what me and assistant David are doing with our passion of films.
Fancy.
The link is in the description below.
Yeah, and you can find me on Twitter.
Also in the description
just
below.
Yeah.
And who knows? the Pandicoot may have a YouTube channel coming soon.
Ooh.
I do. I just haven't put a video on it yet. I'm still recording it. It will come out eventually.
When it is
One
ready.
day.
So, yes. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming, and thank you, Ilaria, for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure. So,
Thank you.
It's always good talking to you.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me, and thank you everybody for listening.
yeah, so we'll be streaming again next week at the same time, and we will be talking about the social dilemma with hopefully returning guest, who you may have seen before, which I will not name because I like a surprise. So
Ooh, mystery guest.
yeah, you know who it is, so just
I
don't.
know, but I'm trying to add to the mystery. Never mind.
Oh well, too late now. Anyway, yeah, so we'll be back next week. So take care until then, and look forward to seeing you guys there. So bye.
Ta-ta.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.